I'm getting ready to go on a road trip from the Dallas-Fort Worth area to Roanoke, Virginia, and I'm going to be taking my dual motor all-wheel drive Cybertruck, but I have options. I could also take the Rivian R1T, which is a quad motor R1T. It's got about 30,000 miles on it. The Tesla has about 8,000 miles on the Cybertruck, but then also we've got the new refresh Model Y Juniper that's got less than 1,000 miles on it. So why am I taking the Cybertruck? I am going to take the Tesla Cybertruck because I have to haul stuff back from Roanoke, Virginia to Texas. I've got to haul a couple of boxes. I got to haul an exercise bike, a Peloton, and I can't really get those in the other vehicles very well. The Rivian could handle it, but I'm going to leave that for my wife. And if I wasn't hauling stuff, which vehicle would I take? I would take the new Model Y Juniper. A couple of reasons. One, it's new. I just got it. I really enjoy it. Two, it's more efficient, which means typically a faster charging trip. Charging stops and overall trip with charging will be faster. And three, I'm not really hauling a lot of people. I'll have a few customers and guests and coworkers with me. But if my family was going with me, either the Cybertruck or the Rivian, but me going by myself, I would probably take the Model Y. It's more efficient, would cost less, and probably be a little quicker. But I am going to enjoy this road trip in the Tesla Cybertruck. Let me go ahead and organize things. I'm going to back the Rivian in the garage. What I had to do this morning, to get both vehicles in the garage, I have to pull the Cybertruck in first, then I have to pull the Rivian in. And they both fit, but to get the Cybertruck out, you got to pull the Rivian out first, then the Cybertruck. So now what I'm going to do is back the Rivian into the garage and put it away. I'm going to back the Cybertruck up and plug it in and let it top charge. It's sitting at 80%. I want to let it juice up as close to 100 as I can while I have time. I'm also going to clean it up. It's a little dirty. And I know that may sound crazy, cleaning it up before driving a 2,500 mile round trip, road trip, but I always like to start out with a clean vehicle. And you'll notice it's a little bit dirty. Not horribly bad, but the front end's got some bugs and whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and get these reorganized, get them cleaned up. I'm gonna load up the Cybertruck, and I will update you here shortly as I get ready to get on the road and take off on another road trip across the country in an electric vehicle. What I'm talking about, you'll see this side of the garage, you know, I've got to back the Cybertruck in right along there. Then with the two vehicles side by side, there's no room to open the door of the Cybertruck, so I have to back it in first. And then usually the Rivian's closer to this side right here. So you've got to get one out. Got to get the Rivian out to get the Cybertruck out. But when I'm using the Cybertruck a lot, I just keep it in the driveway and keep it plugged in, because you'll notice I've got two level 2 chargers there, a charge point and a Tesla wall connector. And I've got another Tesla wall connector right here. So anyway, let me go ahead and get the Cybertruck backed up. It's about 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning in late April. Beautiful outside, by the way. Over 70 degrees already in the DFW area, nice and sunny. And I'm going to leave here probably around 11 or noon. So this thing should have time to top charge, and I'll have time to get it cleaned up, get it loaded up, and go from there. So let's take a look at the miles on this thing before we start out this road trip. There we go, it's got to wake up. Okay, so we're starting out with just about 8,000 miles. 7,943 miles, 446 watt hours per mile. We're going to go ahead and change the trip gauge. We're going to do a reset on this local one. And we're going to call this Roanoke trip. So let's do a rename. This is one thing nice about Tesla. They're one of the only companies, if not the only one, that lets you rename the trips, which is wonderful. And then you can display which ones you want in the trip card right here by checking these boxes. So see, I can remove the Roanoke trip, or I can add it. I can show since last charge or remove it. Super handy. I keep all 4 of them displayed. So now we're starting out with clean consumption information, so I can give you good stats on this Roanoke, Virginia trip. Like I said, a little after 8 a.m. Software-wise, because we're going to be running full self-driving a lot, this vehicle is running 13.2.8, waiting on the spring update, which I believe has not come out for the Cybertruck or the Hardware 4 vehicles yet. Anyway, let me get it backed up. I'll get it plugged in. We'll get it charging. Then I'm going to take care of some stuff. I'm going to clean the vehicle up, and we're going to get ready to roll. I'll be back with you here momentarily. Okay, good news. I am ready to go. It's 11:46 a.m., 85 degrees out, so it's really warm. I just jumped in the car. It's starting to cool down the cabin. 325 miles on 100%, and it literally just finished top charging maybe 15 minutes ago. So charged all up. You'll notice it's ramping up some amperage because the cooling systems are kicking on. So I'm going to go ahead and get unhooked and get on the road. I've got to make one stop at a shipping store that's a couple miles up the road, and then I'm going to be heading to Bossier City, Louisiana. So let's go ahead and plug in the destinations. We're going to go to a place called Pack and Mail in Bartonville, Texas. So we're going to add that. And then we're going to go ahead and add a stop. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's hit Edit Trip. And we're going to add stop. And then we're going to say the Horseshoe. In Bossier City. And there we go. So we're adding that in as our final destination. That is the route I want. Let's click it and see what it tells me to do. Now remember, we're leaving with 100% state of charge. It says we'll arrive at Pack and Mail with 99%. It wants me to stop in Tyler, Texas with 36% left in the battery. Let's take a look at that and see if that is the smart move. So it is. Between Tyler and Shreveport, there's no other chargers until you get over there to Shreveport. There's a 150 kilowatt version 2, and there's a new 250 kilowatt version 3. But what I'm going to do is there's an EV Go there in Tyler, Texas that we're going to stop at. So let's add that in. We're going to add a stop, and we're going to type EV Go Tyler. And you may say, why go to EV Go in Tyler? Well, the reason is, let's take a look at locations near Tyler. No, it's not that. Oh, it's right down here, it looks like. Let's make sure that's the right one. Yep, it's right off I-20. We're going to add that in. Now let's edit trip, reorganize my stops the way I want them. There we go. Hit done. So that'll help you with route planning. A couple little shortcuts there. And I'm going to charge there instead of the Tesla Supercharger. I'm going to leave the Supercharger on there. It is right after the EV Go. If there's a problem in EV Go or whatever, I can still go there. Plus, it'll precondition the battery for fast charging as I get closer. Now, I could go straight to Shreveport without charging, but I want to top up a little bit so when I get to the hotel, in case the chargers there at the Horseshoe aren't available, I'll be able to leave it sit in Sentry mode until something becomes available. So right now, it's showing I will arrive there around 3:30 p.m., and that's with only 5 minutes of charging, arriving at 11%. It'll probably be closer to 4 o'clock, which is fine by me. Let me go ahead and get unplugged, and let's hit the road on this road trip that ultimately is going to end in Roanoke, Virginia. But today, I am going only to Bossier City. Tomorrow, I'll be going up just east of Knoxville, Tennessee, and staying. I can't remember the town name right now, but we'll look that up later. And then the next day, I'll be in Roanoke, Virginia. I have meetings throughout, so I'm just skipping across the country to go to these meetings. Then I'll spend several days in Roanoke, Virginia, and then I've got meetings on the way back to Texas as well. So this is going to be a big adventure. This will be the first part of the road trip. If you want to watch the second part, that'll come up later. This is from Dallas-Fort Worth area to Roanoke, Virginia through multiple different areas. On the way back, there will be a Roanoke, Virginia back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area road trip in this Tesla Cybertruck. Now, this is a dual motor, all-wheel drive with 7,943 miles, 446 watt-hours per mile, and I've reset the trip gauge as I showed you earlier. That'll be a complete return road trip with stops throughout. That'll be a separate video. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Love road tripping in Tesla. Beautiful day to do it. Let's hit the road. Officially on the road now for 2 minutes. So I left the shipping store at 12:07. So just for ease of remembering and all that, we left around 12 noon. And you can see I'm riding along some back roads here through the Flower Mound, Texas area. Really, really cool area. And Don't have FSD turned on yet, but I will activate it here soon. Matter of fact, let's do it now. Okay, here we go. So I kicked on FSD. I'm going to let the Cybertruck drive me, and we'll see how it does. But we've got about 2 hours to the EVgo charging station in Tyler, Texas, where we'll arrive with around 46%. We're running high on the consumption, but remember, we just started out and had to cool the truck down. So, you know, since charge, 500 watt hours per mile. You'll see that drop dramatically here as we run locally through the Flower Mound, Texas area to get out on the interstate. And ultimately, we have to head down through Dallas and get on I-20 east to go over to Louisiana. So headed to the Shreveport, Louisiana area, as you saw earlier. Should be a good trip. It's 81 degrees. It was a little artificially inflated earlier at 85, just from sitting in the sun. But yeah, it's a nice, beautiful day. Nice, fairly clear skies, and hopefully we've got good weather for the drive. I'm going to relax and let the car drive me. It's going to be a great experience, and looking forward to this road trip. Let's go ahead and check tire pressures while we're at it. Recommended at 50. We're at 54. It's warm out. That's perfect. So, yeah, I'm set. Just riding along, doing my thing, and letting the Cybertruck drive me to Shreveport, Louisiana. It's about as good as it gets. So I'll be back with you here with updates along the route. We'll check efficiency. We'll check range. We'll see how we're doing. Remember, we're still sitting at 100% state of charge, down to 324 miles. This was rated, and originally when I bought it, it showed 325 at a full tank. It still shows 325 with a full tank of electrons at nearly 8,000 miles. So that's good. Decent as far as degradation goes. I mean, none at this point, but I've only had the vehicle roughly 6 months. So that's not much time. And honestly, almost all the miles came in the last 30 days. About 6,000 of those miles came in the last 30 days. And I'll be putting 2,500 more on over the next week or so. So we'll be over 10,000 miles here before we know it, and just going to really start using the Cybertruck and running it a lot more on road trips. But absolutely love this thing and looking forward to this trip. And I love going on an EV road trip. I hope you enjoy riding along with me. If I didn't mention already, I'm going to mention it now. Do me a favor, if you like this type of real-world EV road tripping and content, do me a favor, like, subscribe, shoot me a comment, positive, negative, or otherwise. I do enjoy all feedback. This is going to be a long one. You know, I'm going to record clips the whole way, all the way to Roanoke, Virginia, every so often to keep you updated. I'm traveling over a weekend. I've got meetings over a weekend, and, you know, so my phone won't be ringing as much as it does normally during the week, so I can capture a lot of video of, you know, what's going on, the overall area, and keep you updated. And there is my phone ringing, so I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, here's a trip update. I am about 15 miles into the trip, 356 watt hours per mile, and been driving for about 23 minutes. FSD has driven me since I turned it on earlier. So far, it's doing a good job. I'm going to let it ride, and we're going to ride down through here. The one thing about it is it will wander off the road in the Cybertruck. Look at this. So I'm going to have to disengage it because I'm all the way over on the median. I mean, they really need to update this. I'm waiting on the spring software update on the Cybertruck. That should be coming here any day. They haven't released it to hardware for vehicles yet, but, you know, why in the world would that, you know, go all the way off the road? Normally I would report that by clicking the microphone button and reporting that it's lane wandering, but that's a known issue. I've heard it from other people. So unfortunately, you know, I can't use FSD the entire trip like I would in the new Model Y, just because it wanders off the road. And I don't want to run in that berm there off the side. I mean, on the left side of the yellow line, because, you know, who knows what all debris is over there. And it's just not safe. So anyway, I'm going to ride along here, try to use FSD as much as I can, and get to the charger here in about an hour and a half. I'm going to check the EVgo charger on the EVgo app here shortly. Just make sure it does have availability. If not, we've got the Tesla Supercharger there as an easy bailout option. And of course, there are chargers in Shreveport as well. So that's the plan for now. We're going to ride along and get down through this traffic in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm just south of Grapevine, Texas now, riding down and getting through this area. So more details to follow. be back with you in a click. Okay, I want to give you a trip update. I am manually driving here through construction in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm just south of Dallas. You'll see down here, I really can't look down at the stats, but I've driven over 40 miles, I know, and less than 400 watt-hours per mile. Pretty good efficiency. I am running at highway speeds, but I am in construction, so there is some, faster and slower traffic as I go. But with that being said, I'm going to jump on 80, heading towards Terrell, Texas. There's a Buc-ee's there. There's a Supercharger there. But we're going to head to the EVgo, and I think last I looked, it was over 50% when I get to the EVgo charger in Tyler, Texas. So, yeah, all in all, it routed me around a major traffic backup. It had me get off an exit, go around the traffic, and jump back on this toll road that I'm on. Actually, I don't think I'm on a toll road now. I was a minute ago. Anyway, so I'm going to jump off here at about a mile and get on 80 and head towards Terrell, which is good. But once I get on 80 and get out that way a little bit, traffic will really clear up, and it should be smooth sailing from there. I should be able to kick FSD on and enjoy. Again, if I was in the Model Y Juniper, I'd have FSD on the entire time, and it would be doing all of this driving for me. The Cybertruck needs an update, and once it gets it, I'm sure it will improve dramatically. But listen, I'm enjoying the drive. I absolutely love this thing. It's a blast, and it's fun to drive. So let's make sure I'm going to get in the correct lane. I think I need the far right lane. Let's see. Yeah, we went 80 east towards Terrell. And let's jump over here. And jump over one more. And here we go. We're going up around the exit. Huge overpass. And this will put us on to 80 towards Terrell. So I've got an hour and 15 minutes of driving left, 83 miles. It is currently almost 1 p.m. Been driving for roughly an hour. And down there's the stats, 362 watt-hours per mile. That's improved the car overall a little bit so far. And it's 83 degrees out, decent air quality, 87% on the battery. And this thing is a blast to drive, so much fun. Loving the Cybertruck, loving the space, the comfort. And, of course, cold seats are running. Yeah, this thing's great. Let's see what it looks like as we get onto 80 here. And this is a state highway, but with traffic as bad as it is today, if you look down there, you'll see traffic is pretty backed up today. This made the most sense, and sometimes it'll put you on 30 to get to 20. Other times it'll run this way. But this was the smart move. This Cybertruck is so great. I've got two amazing daily drivers for me. My Model Y Juniper and this. Of course, my wife has the Rivian R1T, which when we travel together, we take it on road trips and I do most of the driving, but that's her daily driver. So honestly, we've got three pretty amazing vehicles, and I enjoy bouncing between them. The reason I'm using the EVgo charging, by the way, I've mentioned this in other videos, but if you haven't watched those, I have a year and a half left of free EVgo charging. I had a Cadillac Lyriq for about 6 months. It was absolutely awful. Wonderful car, super luxurious, super quiet, super comfortable, and a nice road tripper. Terrible efficiency, and worse than that, terrible charging on road trips. It was so inconsistent, and GM's known for overall poor charging performance and inconsistency. They came out with a software update recently that's supposed to improve it, but I've heard from a number of Lyriq owners who are having the same problem I did. Cadillac's bought back a bunch of those cars. I ended up selling mine back to the dealer. Just terrible. Glad I'm rid of it, but I did get 2 years of free EVgo charging, in July of last year. And so it's April now, so I have less than a year and a half left, but I'm going to utilize those EVgo chargers for the next year plus, because guess what? They're free. And they're plug-in charge. I have plug-in charge set up. I use my CCS adapter. I plug in. It automatically authenticates with Auto Charge Plus. And I don't have to tap the credit card reader. I don't have to activate it on the app like Electrify America. And they charge up to 350 kilowatts, which the Cybertruck can accept up to 500 kilowatts of charging. Supposedly on the new Tesla superchargers that are coming out. So I've seen it close to 350 kilowatts already, or right around there. Obviously, I'm going to arrive with a pretty high state of charge. So we're not going to see speeds like that, and I don't need to charge long. I'm just going to throw a little energy in, take a break, stretch my legs, and then drive the remaining hour and 20 minutes or so to Shreveport. It's only, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half. It's not far. So this is just a good midway point. Now, I could make it there directly. As a matter of fact, if I look, it'll show without any charging, I can get to Bossier City with 14%, which is easily doable. I don't have any need to stop, but I'm choosing to. Really, two reasons. One, I want to stretch my legs and walk around, use the facilities. And two, I want to arrive with at least 20%, so Sentry mode works in case I can't get on the chargers there in the parking garage at the Horseshoe. Those chargers aren't free anymore. They used to have wall chargers and some J1772 chargers that were free. They removed those and they put paid charging stands in now. So usually they're available because people don't want idle fees and they don't want to sit there and pay for the charging. I'm happy to. I just want a full tank in the morning. So I'm looking forward to getting there and seeing, hopefully being able to plug in and juice up. So that's the plan at this point. I am about an hour out from this EVgo charger in Tyler, and you can see the roads have opened up. I'm going to kick FSD on and sit back and enjoy the drive. I will continue to give you updates here as we go. So I just passed the Buc-ee's in Terrell, Texas, 325 kilowatt chargers. There's 36 of them. And out of order are stalls 2A and 7A. Of course, I don't need to charge. I just kind of wanted to show you how that worked. Those are the new V4 cabinets that charge up to 325 kilowatts. I have charged a new Model Y Juniper there. It got up to 257 kilowatt. On the way back from Tulsa, Oklahoma, I stopped at a 325. Anyway, I am riding along here, just about to get on Interstate 20, and just thought I'd give you that update. It popped up on the map showing the Buc-ee's, and I clicked it just to see what those chargers are, and I have charged there before, but trying to remember them. And you'll see I've been driving a little over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes, and yeah, we're rolling along just under 400 kilowatt hour per mile. Sorry, just under 400 watt hour per mile, which is very good for this big heavy vehicle running at highway speed. So beautiful drive, just enjoying the day. Lots of traffic today, super heavy traffic day, but that's no big deal. Let's click off of this. There we go. Okay, so I just wanted to see how far we've got. 61 miles to our exit, and it is that EVgo charger at a Pilot Flying J here in Tyler, Texas. So that's the next stop. We'll be there momentarily, less than an hour, about 50 minutes it's showing. And you'll notice we're on 75 mile per hour highways. Man, struggling to talk on this little clip. Anyway, should be an easy ride. Again, do not need to charge. I'm choosing to, but loving the drive in the Cybertruck. Super smooth, super quiet. It is a little louder at highway speed than the Model Y Juniper. And I think it's just due to the aerodynamics and the size of the windshield. It seems like just wind coming off the front of the vehicle that's causing that extra noise. Overall, it's very quiet in the cabin, though. Unlike that loaner Model Y I drove the other day, you can see that video clip there, compared it to my Model Y Juniper, and it was significantly different. Anyway, loving the drive. I'm going to continue to cruise along and sit back and relax, and probably kick FSD on here after I disconnect and let the car drive me for a while. Okay, so here's another update. Still absolutely beautiful out. Gorgeous day. A little after 1:30 in the afternoon, Central Time. It's 85 degrees out. and I have driven just under 100 miles, 92 miles so far, 402 watt-hours per mile over the last hour and a half. The Cybertruck has done great. I'm very, very happy with it. I've been enjoying the drive. I've got about 33 miles to go, and it's saying 28 minutes. Traffic has been really, really tough. A lot of vehicles just sitting in the left lane, blocking traffic flow. You got big trucks over there riding, below the speed limit. Not sure why, but just seems like that happens a lot lately. Anyway, we're just riding along and enjoying the drive. The truck is remarkably good. It's a lot of fun to drive, and I'm going to be there very shortly. Now, I just checked the EVgo app, and it is showing that 2 of the 4 charging ports are taken up. Now, keep in mind, there's 2 350 kilowatt chargers there. They're split 175, so there's 2 handles per charger. I can only back in on one side unless they're pull-through stalls, and I don't think this one in Tyler has pull-through stalls. I think they're back-in or pull-in stalls. So we'll see if I can even get charged there. I need to stop, use the facilities, walk around. I really don't need a charge, but I'd like to throw a few minutes of juice in. There is a Tesla Supercharger just a couple of minutes up the road from this EVgo pilot station, so we'll see what happens. But I'm 30 minutes away, so till I get there, they could all be empty, they could all be full. Anything can happen. More and more people are using those along the interstate. So I'll check back with you here as we're pulling in the next 30 minutes. So more details to follow. Okay, so we are just about 25 miles out, 22 minutes, and it just popped up preconditioning the battery for fast charging. I love that Tesla's incorporated that in the software. If you program in a third-party DC fast charger, if you program that into the navigation, it will prep the battery for fast charging. It never used to do that, and so you had to trick it and plug in a nearby Tesla Supercharger in order to get the battery to the right temperature to accept the maximum charging speed. Now, it's not that big of a deal. I'm arriving with 55%, so it's not like I'm going to see 300 plus kilowatts, but it will cool or heat the battery to the right temp, so I'll get the best charging performance. It will consume some extra energy, so you can see I'm at 101 miles. It's up to 406 watt-hours per mile. That will keep climbing because it's consuming more energy right now running the HVAC system, and more than likely heating the batteries to the exact optimum temperature. And even though it's 85 out, it wants that battery pack around 100 degrees. So it's going to heat it up, get it just right, and we'll get a maximum charging session here at this DC fast charger. And let's hope they're available. I'll be there in about 20 minutes and I'll keep you informed. But all in all, still doing well and enjoying the drive. And you can tell, as I get faster highway speeds, you get a lot of wind noise in the Cybertruck. If I stay below 75, and let's drop down once, and I want to show you. About 75, it's very moderate. 70 is really good. When you get up about a few miles an hour over the speed limit, I'm closer to 80, you can hear more and more wind noise in this thing. So it definitely has wind noise compared to the Model Y Juniper, but we are running at pretty fast highway speeds right now, so no big deal. Still loving the Cybertruck, super smooth, super comfortable, and really just a great road tripping vehicle. So I'm a little over 100 miles into my trip, and I've got about a 2,500 mile round trip, about 1,200 miles one way. So we'll see when we get to Roanoke how many miles we have on here, and if you follow the whole video, you'll get to see that. But on leg one, we're 105.1 miles into the trip, so interesting. But we are en route. More details to follow here as I get off the exit. So I wanted to share, because of the weather and because of the incredible efficiency. And by the way, listen how quiet it is at 65 miles an hour. Unreal. Anyway, 417 watt-hours per mile. Because of all that, I could skip this charger totally and get to the Horseshoe in Bossier City with 18% remaining. No problem. Great weather, great efficiency. The Cybertruck's phenomenal. I could drive straight from Dallas-Fort Worth to the Horseshoe in Bossier City, which is 4.5 hour ride, no problem. Call it a 4-hour ride with traffic, whatever. And that's all the more you need. I can get there with 18%. I don't need to push it that far, I'm going to stop and stretch my legs. Just like if I was in a gas car, I would stop. The difference is always be charging. So I always stop where there are chargers so that I can throw some juice on and save time for the next stop. So it's really different road tripping in an EV because there's not chargers off every exit. So you have to kind of logistically plan your stops and make, smart navigation decisions that allow you to kind of maximize your trip. Now, you don't have to. You can just follow the Tesla navigation. It'll get you where you need to go. I like to plan my own and optimize. It makes it kind of fun and interesting for me. So I'm about to get off the exit here for exit 562, which is Hawkins, Tyler, and this is for the truck stop. It's a pilot truck stop here, and I'm going to flip this back to the view that I prefer so I can see exactly where I need to go very easily. 86 degrees out, beautiful day, and you can hear the wind noise pick up as I hit the speed limit 75, so let's do 75. And I don't know if you can hear that through the microphone, but it's windy, and it picks that up at speed, so. And I can feel that it's hot out for sure, but it stopped preconditioning, which means the battery's at the right temperature. And we're just going to pull in here, and we're going to hope we can get backed into one of the chargers and throw a little bit of juice in. I haven't checked the app lately, to see if there are vehicles still charging or not, but we're going to see in just a second. I'm just going to rip right up around the turn here. This pilot is right here on the right. I've been here before. You'll see the chargers are right here on the right. Pretty easy to get to. Really convenient. And guess what? They are all available, so I have my choice. Nice thing about these Pilot Flying J's is they usually have window squeegees and trash cans, and of course, they sure do. So we're going to go ahead and back into this first charger right here. Shouldn't matter one way or another. But let's go ahead and back into this one. And let's say we're back to about the right distance. And let's stop there. I'll get my adapter out of the door, and I'm going to get plugged in, and I'll be right back with you. You'll see that this should authenticate pretty quickly. Be back with you in a second. Okay, so I just plugged in. It said payment authorized almost instantly, and now it's switched over. It says connecting to your vehicle. Checking cable safety. Heard something clicking. Contactors are clicking inside. Matching voltage, so it's about to start charging. Let's take a look on the vehicle screen. And we are charging just like that. Now to go to 100%, it's saying it'll take about an hour. Of course, we're never going to charge to 100%, but let's see what speeds we get to at 56%. 162 kilowatts, 160. And there we go. I don't need to charge here. Like I said, I need to throw some trash away, need to use the facilities, need to get situated here for checking in. So I'm going to take care of a few things, and then we're going to take off. So I'll be back with you shortly. Let's look at the stats for the last leg. 126 miles, 416 watt hours per mile in 2 hours. 52.5 kilowatt hours of energy use. So great job, Cybertruck. Loving it. And EVgo, Pilot Flying J, you've got some great stops. I do enjoy them. Okay, folks, I'll be back with you. Okay, I'm walking back to the Cybertruck here at this Pilot Flying J, and you'll see we're here in Texas. Pickup trucks, SUVs, etc. Anyway, you'll see this thing stands out like a sore thumb here at this GM Energy EVgo Pilot Flying J. 100 different name charger, but they're great. You know, they've got all the amenities that you need. Nice screens. I've had them almost always work. Look, you've got the squeegee there to clean the windshield, trash, paper towels. And let's take a look here at the progress. We're already to 67%, still pulling 100 kilowatts. Been here 7 minutes, pulled 14 kilowatt hours of energy. I got to take care of a couple emails and then I'm going to take off, but I have plenty of juice. So I'll be back with you here as we hit the road. Okay, so I just finished my email and we're ready to take off. We're at 71%, still pulling 97 kilowatts. Really fast charging, high in the pack. I'm happy with that. Still showing 45 minutes to top charge. It does slow way down, but I mean, 100 kilowatts at this high in the pack, I think is pretty good. Anyway, we've got an hour and 18 minutes to go, 93 miles. We'll arrive there with around 33%. And let's go ahead and hit the road. I'm going to unplug and we'll get with it here. Yeah, that was a great little charging session. You know, we onboarded a good bit of energy quickly. And, you know, we arrived with around 50-ish%. We pulled out with 72%. I think we arrived with 52%. And we're back on the road again. Going to get to the hotel a little bit before 4 o'clock with 34% on battery. So all in all, pretty darn good. Still a beautiful day, 87 degrees out, and riding along. So yeah, only an hour and 16 minutes left. Can't be disappointed about that. And I absolutely love the Cybertruck. Thanks for the free juice, EVgo. That was good. And let's ride along here, and I'll update you in a little bit. Efficiency will level out. When you come off of a DC fast charger, the pack temperatures, battery pack temperatures are very, very high. The HVAC system has to kick on and cool everything down. So you'll see here as we drive, it'll just keep cooling down. So it's already down in the 500-ish watt hours per mile. When we started, it was over 1,000. See it just dropping continually. Let me just let you watch that for a second here as we level out. See, now it's below 550, 525. And I'm just letting the HVAC, you know, get the car cooled back down to a normal level, 508. So when I'm back with you, we'll see where it's at. But it'll cool down and we'll get back to normal efficiency. And I am just going to ride along and enjoy it. I think I'm just going to mostly manual drive, but what I am going to do before I end this clip, I'm going to hit the FSD button, and we're going to see how long I can go without intervening in the Cybertruck, because it tends to wander across the lanes on the highway. Around town, it's actually good. It's highway driving. It doesn't have autopilot yet, and I think that's part of the problem. This next version is supposed to include autopilot, so once I get this spring update, I'm expecting much better performance with the Cybertruck on the highway. And this challenge will probably go away. So anyway, be to the hotel shortly and I will keep you updated. Oh, let me do this and shut the wipers off because there is no need for that. You know, it'll pick up a bug splatter or anything in the camera and then it'll run the wiper. So I went ahead and shut that off. So riding along, be with you here in another minute with an update. Okay, so we are less than an hour away. And we're just staying here to the right to stay on 20. There is a left exit to split off on Texas 31 East. Anyway, 57 minutes to go, 67 miles. You'll see, going to arrive around 3:37 p.m. Efficiency is higher than it was before, not as good. 453 watt hours per mile. And again, that's due to charging. That's HVAC and system cooling coming off of a rapid charging session. That was only 10% ago on the battery, so it's still kind of cooling down and leveling out, but that'll continue to improve and get closer to that 422 watt hours per mile that we saw all along. I would guess we'll see more around the overall lifetime of the car, maybe between 425, 435, something like that. We'll see when we get there. Yeah, we've only got a little bit to go. It's 88 degrees now. Absolutely beautiful day in late April of 2025. And again, Cybertruck's amazing. Great ride. Super smooth. Super comfortable. And fairly quiet overall, for sure. So I'm going to sit back, relax, listen to some music. I just disengaged FSD a minute ago to make a lane change that I wanted to make quickly due to a truck. And but other than that, I had FSD on for the last 25 miles with no issues. It was changing lanes, doing its job, actually working pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and kick that back on as I head here to the Louisiana line, which is not much before Shreveport, maybe 10 or so miles before. So I will keep you updated here as we ride on. Let me go ahead and kick on FSD, close out these messages, and ride. Okay, here we are coming into Bossier City. Not the best area, but right up here is a really good little micro brew. It's called Bojack's Craft House. You'll see it in that brown building up there. It's right across from the Horseshoe. The Horseshoe's back here behind me. Anyway, that place is great. They have some great boudin and crackers and some great foods, great atmosphere. It's walkable from the Horseshoe, but now in general, this area is kind of sketchy right around here, as you can probably notice. Anyway, wanted to give you a trip update. I just arrived. I'm 1 minute out. It is 3:33 p.m. I've got 37% left on the battery, so better than expected. I've driven 93 miles this leg, and I've used 40.6 kilowatt hours of energy. 436 watt hours per mile. I think that's close to, I think I said 425 to 435 was my estimate. But, you know, either way, I have made it here safely. Happy to be here. And gonna get checked in here. I'm gonna go see the valet and see if they can help me with my bags. And then I am gonna park this on the level where I can get some charging in the vehicle. Charging's on, I think, the second floor of the garage. I can't fully remember, but we're gonna go see the valet and see if I can drop my bags and get a little cart. That'll save me from walking through the garage area with all my bags and whatnot. So that's it for today. That's the trip stats. Arriving here at 88 degrees. Beautiful day. And I will be back with you tomorrow morning. I'll try to post a little shot from the garage here if I can of me getting the Cybertruck plugged in and getting it charging. But here is the Horseshoe in Bossier City, Louisiana. Okay, I'm going to jump off now and be back with you here momentarily. So life has a lot of firsts, and this is a first. The power is out at the casino. A couple of generators are working, so it's good that I went to the valet area and dropped my bags because the elevators are not working. So I would have had to carry all my stuff down the stairs, which would not have worked. And I'm guessing the chargers are offline. So it's good that I charged to 37%. I'm sure they'll get the power back working soon because a lot of people rely on it. But we are going to see. Now, if I recall, the chargers they installed are on level 2. And we're going to zip right over here and see if I'm right. They are back here. And I am right. So right here's the chargers. And my guess is they have no power. Yeah, the screens are completely out. But I am going to get backed in to the charger and get prepared to charge. So when power comes back up, we can juice up accordingly. But it's interesting how all that works. Okay, there we go. All right, thanks for following along. I will give you an update again tomorrow morning and perhaps later tonight as power comes back here at the casino. We will see what happens. Hey, by the way, here are the chargers. They're nice Autel chargers. There's unit 3 and 4, unit 1 and 2 are over there. We've got a car already plugged in over there. And I'm going to go ahead and plug the Cybertruck in, and then I can activate it remotely once the chargers come up and working. So I'm going to do that now, and again, I'll try to keep you updated. This is an interesting situation. Here's something you won't see very often. One of the casinos with no power. So they got backup generators running, so the elevators do work now, but we got no power in a lot of the common areas. Pretty crazy. This reminds me a lot of places and their statuses during COVID, you'll notice the gift shop here is open with 0 lighting. But the shoe shine guy is still working. Look at that. No lighting at all in the gift shop. Pretty crazy. Okay, I'll try to update you as we get a charge at the charger. Okay, I'm in the high limit area. This is the general floor out here. Over here is the high limit area. And here's the high limit bar. And they got a couple of machines over here too. So, anyway, yeah, plenty of power inside the casino because they're running on backup generators, which is completely insane, right? But that's the way it goes. Hey-o. Okay, here's the same corridor, all lit up during the day. And I'm gonna stop because of the music, but check it out. Completely different looking, right? So it's about 7 a.m. the next morning. Power came back around 9 p.m. last night. I was able to activate the charger, but then shortly after that, somebody else plugged in and activated the other handle. So what ends up happening is we split power. So it's about 6 kilowatts a piece. So pretty slow. But I would guess, and I haven't looked at it here in the last few minutes, but I'm thinking I'm up to probably 80-some%. So there you go. You got a BMW plugged in. Very nice. Got a Mustang Mach-E plugged in. And we got the Cybertruck here. So I'm going to go ahead and get loaded up, and I'll be back with you in a minute. We'll plan out the route and figure out what is going on as far as how far and how deeply I'm charged. But that's a fully electric BMW, so I'm glad to see that. Be back with you in a minute. Okay, so we got the Cybertruck all loaded up. It is 7:02 a.m. It is 68 degrees, but it's very, very humid here. Let's take a look at this screen, and there, so we're both pulling like just over 5 kilowatts, or I'm pulling 5 and the BMW is pulling 4.8. That's an E-Drive BMW, very, very nice. Let's see how charged we are in the Cybertruck. So yeah, we're up to 85%, and charging at 5 kilowatts, it would take another 4 hours and 20 minutes to fill all the way up. I'm happy with that. We're gonna go ahead and plug in our destination for today. I've got to look that up. I think, is it a Fairfield Inn, maybe? In Kodak, Tennessee? Let's take a look. Yeah, this is it right here. And this is where we're going. Let's go ahead and plug it in. So it's wanting me to stop at Vicksburg, which is the Ameristar Casino, then Meridian, Lance, Steel, and up through Chattanooga, arriving at 7:10 p.m. So it's about 12 hours total, including charging. So first stop, 2.5 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and get on the road. I'm gonna look up some EVGOs along the way, and I may change this up, but this is a good start. I'll be back with you here momentarily. For your knowledge, there's the charging cost. I put 67 kilowatt hours in for $28.66. I hate the connection fee there of 50 cents, but 38 cents a kilowatt hour, not too bad. And now the BMW is charging much faster, so hope they enjoy, and we're gonna get on the road. There is an EVGO charger in Meridian, Mississippi. So we're gonna stop in Vicksburg. We're gonna charge for 15-20 minutes, use the facilities, etc., and then head on to Meridian, and then that'll skip that supercharger there, and we'll go from there. I will be on the way here in just a second. Okay, and we are rolling. It's 7:09 a.m. Beautiful morning, 73 degrees out. Pretty humid, as I might have mentioned earlier, but you know, 38 cents a kilowatt hour is not too bad. I'm glad to be able to fill up there overnight. And of course, I'm not 100% full, but that is fine. I've got plenty of charge to go down the road. And that's one of the conveniences of owning an electric vehicle, is stay at hotels that have charging. Frankly, most of them are free, but to me, as long as they have charging, and if they don't price gouge, there are certainly places that price gouge. I prefer to stay at those get myself juiced up. And starting out this morning, I'm able to drive a couple hours without stopping. So that saved me from stopping last night and charging for 10 or 15 minutes or whatever. And now I'm starting out this morning with a pretty much a full tank of juice. So that's good stuff. You'll see efficiency isn't great. We just pulled out, but it'll improve here as we go. It's 483 watt hours per mile for the last 1.7 miles. Now, into this Roanoke, Virginia trip, 222 miles total. So we're going to Kodak, Tennessee, which is by Sevierville. There's a huge Buc-ee's right there. We're actually staying across the street from the Buc-ee's. There is this Fairfield Inn that has a small charging station there. A couple of level 2 chargers. Hopefully I can get plugged in. But there is an Electrify America directly next door. Right by, there's several stores right there, a beef jerky outlet, a Harley-Davidson dealer, etc. And there's a Electrify America. And then across the highway is the Buc-ee's with a huge supercharger. So that's a great place to stay. I've got meetings less than an hour from there tomorrow morning. And I've got meetings in the area tonight. So, I'm going to head up the road, get there. Now, one thing that the Tesla is not calculating is the time zone change. So it's showing I'm going to arrive at 7, which means that's 8 p.m. So it's going to be a long day. And the time zone will change to Eastern time right before I get to that area, maybe an hour or so before. Between Nashville and Knoxville is the Central to Eastern time zone change. So, I kind of dislike that part of road tripping all over the U.S., dealing with the different time zones. So I'll be getting into the hotel around 8 p.m. I'll figure out food and meal options and all that as I go. There was another Cybertruck coming towards me in the opposite lane. Nice to see. And so I'm on the road, loving this vehicle. Absolutely phenomenal just to jump in it and be so comfortable. Now again, I'm almost 6'6", 325 pounds. I'm a big guy, and I'm super comfortable in this vehicle. So ingress and egress is excellent. I have it set up for the suspension automatically lowering and raising. I've got the hand show running boards in there, and by the way, there's a link in the description below for a discount code for that, as well as other accessories, as well as a link for Tesla. If you're buying a Tesla, use a referral code. If not mine, use someone's. It'll certainly help you. But, this vehicle is phenomenal. And I really, really enjoy it. So I'm glad to be in it. I get a lot of haters lately about Elon Musk. And at the end of the day, I spent my hard-earned money on a vehicle I enjoy. And I really don't care what they have to say. If they don't want to spend their money on something, don't. But all the hate and the toxicity is unbelievable to me. It's ridiculous. So, I choose not to buy stuff that I don't believe in, and they should do the same. But to come after other people over it is a little bit ridiculous. So, anyway, nonetheless, we're going to enjoy the drive today. Beautiful day starting out, and I am on the road again, getting through the construction zone here, and now I'm just crossing the other side of construction. So, glad to be through that little section. Okay, I'll be back with you here in a little bit with a trip update. Okay, here is a trip update. Attention monitoring unavailable. Detected device in hand. Love it. Anyway, we are 36 miles into the trip, 450 watt hours per mile. And I'm going to make a stop and grab breakfast on the road here at the Golden Arches. So what I did is I just clicked right here and did search long route. I typed in McDonald's and it popped up a whole bunch of them along the route. I picked one that was right off the exit on the right side, or on my side of the highway. And so I'll be there in 13 minutes. That'll mean I have driven about 45 minutes total to that point. And then I think I'm maybe an hour and a half from the charger in Vicksburg. So yeah, about an hour and 40 minutes. So no big deal. And that is, again, that's at an Ameristar casino in Vicksburg, Mississippi, right on the river. It's kind of a cool location. And restrooms are kind of right inside. It's easy to use. It's open 24 hours. That's a great charging spot, and it's right off the interstate. So I'll get juiced up there for about 20 minutes, and then I'll head to the EVgo charging station, and I'll skip the Meridian Supercharger after that. So I've not been to the one in Vance, Alabama. I think I've been to the one in Steele, Alabama. But you'll see each stop's roughly, 10 to 20 minutes. It's showing 12 minutes in Vance, 22 minutes there, 22 minutes there. So pretty good. Not super long charging times. Good job with the Tesla route planning. But I'm going to use the EVgo's just because, as you saw yesterday, I've got free charging. I might as well use that. So once I charge in Meridian, then I'll look along the route and see if there's any others that I can hit instead of some of those superchargers. So again, it's a beautiful day out. It's 70 degrees, a little bit foggy up here, but yeah, nice day, nice drive, and 7:41 a.m. 70% left in the battery. Looks like I'll arrive to McDonald's with 66%. So I'm just going to grab a breakfast sandwich and a drink and then ride on. So I'll be back with you here momentarily. Okay, so here's a trip update. 90 miles into the trip, an hour and 26 minutes. That includes the stop at McDonald's, which was pretty slow. So I'm surprised it's not longer than that for 90 miles. But anyway, 435 watt-hours per mile. So better overall efficiency than the lifetime on the vehicle, which is 445 watt-hours per mile. We're up to 8,255 miles on the car, and we've driven 311 miles into this Roanoke trip. We have about 80 miles to go, an hour and 8 minutes, and it shows we're going to arrive to Vicksburg with 22%. It's 75 degrees out. It is starting to warm up. 8:34 a.m. Beautiful day again. I'm sitting at about 50% on the battery. Yeah, 51%. And I am just enjoying the drive. It's a beautiful driving day. It's going to be a long one, but yeah, beautiful day out. And I'm just going to ride on here. So I'll update you as we get to the charger here in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Okay, so here's another update. 9:18 a.m. now. It's 80 degrees out, so warming up nicely. Driven 144 miles and 426 watt-hours per mile. I have 24 minutes, 26 miles to go, and I'm going to arrive with around 23%. Smooth, easy drive. It's flat. It's straight. FSD's been on the entire time, and I'm just letting the car drive me. It's switching lanes. It's moved around construction. When there were police off to the side of the road, it moved to the left lane. It's done a fantastic job. A little bit of lane wandering when you're in the left lane. The right lane, actually, it does pretty well. It's kind of crazy, but anyway, I am going to keep riding on here. I'll keep you updated as we go. Looking forward to getting to the charger here in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and that'll be a quick 20-minute charge and then go. So I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, so here we are, only 13 miles to the exit, and it just popped up preconditioning the battery for fast charging. So it's going to heat the battery to the proper temperature. I'm pulling in with about 23%. I should see 250 kilowatts for a little while. And I don't need to be there long, but I'm going to walk in, use the facilities. It's a bit of a walk. Till I come back out to the car, it should be charged and good to go. So I've got to throw some trash away from the last stop, and I've got to check my emails, and I'm going to, like I said, I'll go for that walk and be on to the next charger after that. So looking forward to getting here and stretching my legs. This has been a good 2 hour and 20 minutes with another 13 minutes remaining. So about 2 hours and 30 minutes on this leg. 429 watt-hours per mile. And of course, it is that consumption is going to go up now because of heating the battery up. So it will be a little worse. But all in all, it's been pretty efficient. I mean, I'm running at highway speeds. Here's the thing, there's not a ton of wind, and it's beautiful weather. That makes a big difference with an electric vehicle. So you'll notice, by the way, as I'm driving here, the car is switching lanes. It's doing its thing. I'm really just along for the ride. So I love it. Love FSD, full self-driving. It is very, very helpful. And the Cybertruck's pretty amazing. So anyway, the destination this evening I'm staying at, I mentioned earlier, it does have level 2 charging. I'm hopeful to get there and get plugged into one of those. If not, I can top up at Electrify America or the Tesla Supercharger across the street at Buc-ee's. So we'll see. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do, but all I know is I'm going to keep riding up the road. We got a ways to go. We are, as you can see, 380 miles into this Roanoke, Virginia trip. So making progress here this morning. Okay, I'll update you as we're getting off the exit here for Vicksburg. Okay, and here we are crossing the bridge over the Mississippi River. And this is the Vicksburg Bridge, but it actually crosses the Mississippi. And we are getting off exit 1A in Mississippi. So literally crossing into the state and getting off the first exit. Down there's an efficiency update. You'll see consumption has gone up 437 watt hours per mile, and that's due to preconditioning. Still have full self-driving on, and I just want to see how it does navigating the exit and getting me to the charger. Slowing down, which is good. Nice, real nice and smooth off the exit. Pretty incredible. It's pretty wild, you know, sitting in the driver's seat and having the car drive you as you go on a cross-country road trip. And, you know, here it is getting off the exit, navigating up through the lights. I've got to touch the wheel because I'm holding a mobile device. Normally, I wouldn't even have to touch the wheel. It's using the camera in the cabin to monitor my eyes and hands. And when it sees a mobile device, it makes you put some pressure on the wheel. It makes you pay, you know, you're always paying attention, but it's more sensitive because it wants to make sure that you're alert and really paying attention to the driving. So it's navigating this very nicely. Slowing down to a good speed. And down here's the boat. I'm going to keep my hand on the wheel here. This is difficult to navigate even when you're driving. But over there's the riverboat. Wow, it's doing a really good job here. Okay. It came to a complete stop. And I am going to go ahead and take over here because I am going to drive down further. It wants me to go in right there, but I'm actually going to cross over down here. Because there's a gate right there. So this is just a bit easier. We're going to go ahead and back into this spot right there. Notice the P on the screen. You can touch that and the car will self-park. I typically don't use that. It's just honestly easier and quicker for me just to manually back in. It's really not a big deal. And here we are. Let's go ahead and get plugged in and see what kind of speeds we can pull. Notice it's lowering the vehicle, and it does that super quickly. Very, very usable. And this charger is completely empty, by the way. Let's take a look. It is a 12 stall. All 12 are available. 250 kilowatt version 3. And here's the beautiful bridge that I just crossed over. And let's go ahead and get the charger. These do have Magic Dock. You'll see the Magic Dock right up in there. It'll come out for CCS cars. And there we go, we're charging. So let's take a look in the vehicle and see what kind of speeds we're getting. So you'll see here it's ramping up. And while it's ramping up, let me just give you a stat update down here at the bottom. Drove 170 miles, 74 kilowatt hours of energy used, 2 hours and 35 minutes, 433 watt hours per mile. All in all, pretty good leg. You'll see it's ramping up rather slowly here. I'm going to stay with it just to make sure we get full speed out of this one, or if there's something going on with this particular charger. Still ramping up. Again, it's a really slow ramp up. Normally it doesn't take anywhere near this long. So we're up over 200 kilowatts now. It should hit 250 kilowatts. I wouldn't see why not. Yep, and there we go, pulling 254 kilowatts, and the little eye icon pops up, which tells us charge rate limited by charging station. In other words, the vehicle can accept more than 254 kilowatts. It would pull probably around 300 kilowatts at this state of charge. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and leave it charge. It is, I'm telling you, if I leave right now, it's not giving me a, enough energy to continue my trip. Let's take a look. Alright, we're going to want to add a stop. EVgo Meridian. There we go. Thought I had that in there. For some reason forgot it. Okay, we're gonna let it charge. I'm gonna run in, use the facilities, get rid of some trash, and I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, so I'm coming out of the casino. I used the restroom. I actually played a couple of slot machines, lost on the first one, won on the second one, came out even. Actually, came out down $6. So that's fine. I had a few chances to win, but anyway, I wanted to show you kind of where the charging is. Charging is usually towards the back of a lot and off to the side, which is great because then gas cars don't block the charging stalls. So I think it's good they put them down here. But you saw as I drove in where the chargers are. And now I'm going to kind of show you as I walk to them how far away they are from the entrance. So it's probably a 2-minute walk. Beautiful outside, by the way. It's sunny. It's got to be pushing 85 degrees now. I'm not sure. But it is beautiful out. And you got 3 Teslas down here charging. a newer Model 3, an older Model 3, and then the Cybertruck. So, and that is the layout here in Vicksburg, Mississippi. All right, so we're at over 70% now. I was in there maybe 15, 20 minutes, and it popped up done charging a little bit ago, and it was pulling around 90 kilowatts at 70%. Let's see where it's at now. So there we are, 73%, 89 kilowatts, and it shows we're going to arrive to EVgo with 18%. So we have plenty. We're going to drive for another 2 hours and stop. So let's go ahead and get unplugged and get on the road. Okay, it's nice and cool in here. It's showing 78 here in the shade. Felt a lot warmer than that in the sun, for sure. And let me go ahead and get my seatbelt on. And let's go ahead and get on the road. Nice clean place, good facilities, and generally a good charging stop. Again, it's open 24 hours a day, so that's perfect from an amenities standpoint. It's very, very helpful. I am manually driving. I'm gonna get us back on the highway, and then I will let the car take over. You'll notice right after I unplugged, it jumped up. It's estimating 20% upon arrival now. We'll see what happens once we get on the highway, but we've got plenty. I like to make sure I have at least 10% estimated. 20% is kind of a sweet spot. Ideally, you want to arrive to the chargers between 10 and 20%. That kind of gets you the fastest charger hopping, fastest charging, and all of the above. So okay, and that's Vicksburg, at least the edge of Vicksburg. And we're gonna go out here and get on 20 East. Following this big bus, pulling an ATC trailer behind. Looks like a little car haul trailer or something. Yeah, it's a pretty nice setup. Okay. And we are back on the road. You'll see how terrible the efficiency is starting out. And again, as I've mentioned, that's due to battery cooling. So it just supercharged, heated the battery pack up. Now the HVAC system has to crank to cool everything back down. So we're gonna get back on the road. I'm gonna turn on a talk show or something, or a podcast. I did catch up on my email while I was in there. Like I said, I played a couple slots. I used the restroom, and I'm good to go for the next couple of hours. So let's hit the road. I'll be back with you in a sec. Absolutely beautiful drive today. 85 degrees out. Just a great driving day, really. It's about 11 a.m. I'm roughly an hour from the EVgo charger in Meridian, Mississippi. I'm showing a 12:04 p.m. arrival. Showing I'm going to arrive with 23%. The battery's currently at 53%. And you'll see I've driven 55 miles and 429 watt-hours per mile. Pretty consistent across this trip. So far on the way to Roanoke, Virginia, 447 miles into the total trip. So, yeah, it's a great driving experience. I'm kind of just here relaxing while the car drives me. These are some rough roads, and this thing kind of soaks it up pretty good. Fairly quiet at these speeds, too. Of course, when you get up closer to 80, you get a lot more wind noise, but overall, it is a fairly quiet vehicle. One of the keys for the Cybertruck is I have the core wheel and tires, which they're the on-road tires. It's more efficient, but also much quieter tread, so that's important. But yeah, this is a good trip so far. Till I get back to Texas that week, you know, when I get back, I've got to take the Cybertruck in. There's a recall, and it'll be interesting. It'll have over 10,000 miles on it at that point, so really racking the miles up quickly now that I'm actually using this for road tripping. So anyway, it's been enjoyable, uneventful, which is a good thing, and we're just going to let the vehicle keep driving us. So this route's taking us across I-20, and then we'll go up through the Chattanooga area up towards Knoxville, and that'll be our destination tonight. They're in Sevierville/Jackson. Not Jackson, I'm sorry, Sevierville/Kodak, Tennessee. I stay in Jackson a good bit when I'm going from Roanoke, Virginia to Dallas-Fort Worth. It's a halfway point if I'm taking the northern route. This time I'm taking the southern route across 20 instead of going 30 and 40 across. So different scenery, different landscape. It's maybe a half an hour difference in total time, but it just breaks it up taking a different route. So anyway, I'm going to go back to it and enjoy this drive. I will update you here as we're pulling into this EVgo charger in Meridian, Mississippi. Continues to be a nice drive here through Mississippi. 70 mile-an-hour speed limit. We're just riding along at highway speeds. Cars are passing me on a regular basis. We are 32 miles from the exit for the EVgo charging station at the Pilot Flying J in Meridian, Mississippi. Should arrive with around 24%. 12:03 p.m. is our ETA. We've driven 100 miles in an hour and 25 minutes, 431 watt-hours per mile. Again, pretty consistent energy use, and yeah, almost 500 miles now in the Roanoke, Virginia trip. So we're definitely knocking out some miles. We're going to have a few more charging stops today. Let's take a look at the route. So probably 3 more after this one, I think, and we're going around 700 miles today. So, but you'll see some of these are pretty quick stops. It's wanting to stop for 14 minutes in Meridian and then 6 minutes in Vance, Alabama. So then it's estimating 26 minutes in Birmingham and 20 minutes in Chattanooga, arriving there to the Fairfield Inn. So we shall see how it goes. Once I get here to Meridian, I'm going to look for the next EVgo charger along my route to see if there's another one I can hit. And I do like these. They're great stops with great amenities, and they're open 24 hours. So I think EVgo's done a nice job partnering with Pilot Flying J, getting those charging stations on the major highways. They're great, at least the eastern part of the U.S. I've had great experience with them, and I really enjoy the charging network. Beautiful blue skies. This is a great part of the country. You can see how green and lush everything is. So yeah, it's been a good day so far. I'm gonna go ahead and kick back and relax and let the car drive me the rest of the way here, and we'll be there within 30 minutes, and I will update you as we're getting off the exit. Thought I'd give you another quick update here before we get to the charger. We're 17 minutes out, showing 24% state of charge upon arrival. Going to get off exit 151 here in 18 miles. And you'll see we have crossed over 500 miles on the Roanoke trip, 429, almost 430 watt hours per mile overall on the Roanoke, Virginia leg. So on this particular stretch, since the Charger in Vicksburg, we've driven 115 miles so far, 431 watt hours per mile. So hour and 37 minutes, we're almost there. Looking forward to getting there. You know, honestly, I know people talk about EV road tripping slowing you down. It really doesn't slow me down. I need to stop every couple hours and stretch my legs and walk around and use a restroom, etc. That's about as far as I like to go anymore. I've been road tripping like this for 30 years, and it honestly makes it nice having the route planner, knowing when I'm going to stop. I prefer the little short hour and a half or 2 hour or less legs. It makes it, you know, hey, my next stop is here. I'm going an hour and a half, 2 hours. I know where I'm headed. I know I can get out and walk around for a minute. I really look forward to that. That makes road tripping better for me. So, been driving now, let's see, I think I left around 7. And when we get to this stop, it's, you know, roughly, what, 5 hours of driving. And we've got about 7.5 more hours. So, this will probably be about a 12.5 hour day of road tripping. So, let's see how it goes. I'll update you here as we get to the Charger in just a little bit. Okay, here we are getting ready to get off of the exit, still riding along on FSD, letting the car do the full self-driving thing. And it's jumping over in the right lane perfectly. And this is right off the exit, this Pilot truck stop with the EVgo charger. So it's a pretty convenient location. One thing nice about these Pilot and Flying J's is they're right off the exits. I mean, they're designed for truck stops, so they are truck stops. I mean, so they're easy to get in and out of, and make for great charging locations with all the amenities, open 24/7, fantastic stops. So. And what we have to do is look for the blue canopies. They're over there to the right. Looks like we've got maybe a Mach-E charging. Can't tell. I think it is a Mach-E. I'm going to go ahead and take over driving. And I just chose to take over because I wanted to, didn't need to. Let's go ahead and get over here to the Charger and get plugged in. I'm not going to power share. I'm going to plug into my own charger here. Okay, should be back far enough. And let me go ahead and get plugged in. I'll be back with you in a second. So it took a minute because I plugged into the handle closest to the truck and it would not charge. It was hung up. It showed in use and just was not connecting. So I just plugged into the other one and it said payment authorized and saying starting to charge. So let's see if it kicks up. These usually take a minute to activate, but then once they start charging, they jump up very quickly, normally. And we're at 25% on the battery. So we should see around 300 kilowatts. We're up to 210, 275, 317. Oh wow, 347. So it'll start dropping down from there, but hey, we're pulling almost 350 kilowatts. So that's great. I'm going to let this thing charge, and I'm going to figure out my next stop. The car actually can take more right now. The station's limiting it a little bit, but anyway, it's pulling good charging speeds here at 330 kilowatts roughly. So yeah, I'm gonna run in, use the restroom, and figure out my next stop, and I'll be back with you here shortly. Before I run in there, here's the last leg: 133 miles, 423 watt hours per mile, 525 miles total on this Roanoke, Virginia trip so far. So I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, here's the charger. Just so you can see, the Mach-E's there charging, and so is the Cybertruck. Nice location. There's a Subway. Again, open 24 hours. So this is a good one. Let's see how much energy we've put on how quickly here. Let's take a quick look. Okay, well, that screen does not appear to be working. Let's take a look in the truck. Okay. So it's put on 32 kilowatt hours of energy in, I'm going to guess, 10 minutes maybe. Still charging at 148. There is another EV Go. It's a little further up the road. I could run to this Cottondale, Alabama Tesla charger, and let's just take a look. So this Cottondale one is a 250. Been there before, but I know there's an EV Go near Bessemer. And let's do this one. EV Go back, and I think it's in McCalla. This is it, GM Energy Station, McCalla, 119 miles. It's right on my route. Let's add it in. And so we need enough energy to be able to skip Vance. So what we're going to do is we're going to click here and say remove all charging stops. So right now, if I take off, I can get to McCalla, which is going to be my next stop, with 4%. So I'm going to let it charge just a few more minutes, and I'm going to take off. I've got to do a couple things in the car real quick, so I'm going to take care of that, and I'll be back with you here as I'm departing. So I stayed there just a couple minutes longer. I had to get something out of my laptop bag. I went ahead and cleaned the windshield off. Honestly, I stayed there longer than I needed to, for sure, but it took me a minute to do those things. So I'm going to arrive with 16% estimated as I get to this next EV Go charger here in Alabama. So again, it's another one right off of the interstate. Let's take a look. Let me turn FSD on. Yeah, it's 0.3 miles off of the interstate. So another easy one. We're going to head there, be there in about an hour and 42 minutes, get juiced up. And by the way, you will notice really high consumption again pulling out of the charger. 860 watt hours per mile. You'll see that drop quickly. And we're going to stay with that for a second just so you can see it. As the car is now up to speed, air is blowing over the battery, and the cooling system's doing its job and cooling the battery down. The HVAC system will start to back down and not consume so much energy. So that'll drop down under 500 here in just a minute, and probably as I go down this hill, as a matter of fact. Let's go ahead and bump the speed up a couple of notches so we can flow with traffic. See, now we're down below 700. Let's give it another moment. It's interesting to me to watch. You can see it's still going to rip the cooling fans for a few miles. So when I check back with you in the next clip, check out what the consumption is. You'll see it'll be much improved. Overall on the Roanoke trip, 429 watt hours per mile, 527 miles. So we've got 122 miles to go, arriving with around 15%. Should be fun. There we are at 640 now, 630. Just give it a second. Now that we're leveled out on flat ground and flowing with traffic, it should drop below 600 here pretty quickly, even though the fans are still doing their thing. I mean, I can hear them ripping. There you go, below 600. So it's interesting to watch, something to learn about EVs. Love the way Tesla displays it. They just recently added that decimal point to the latest software update. Speaking of which, I am looking forward to getting the spring update. There's a couple of nice features coming to the Cybertruck, and I think it'll really improve FSD on it. And in the meantime, I am driving on, trying to get up the road here to Kodak, Tennessee. So this is my next stop, and then from there we'll plug in Kodak and figure out any other charging stations. So I'll be back with you here shortly. There's the consumption as I'm ending this little clip. Okay, thanks for following along. Be back shortly. Okay, so here is a trip update. Let's take a look. 84 miles out, about an hour and 10 minutes. Going to arrive with 17% now. We're at 440 watt hours per mile. As you can see, it's dropped down and continuing to improve. And I've driven about 40 miles in the last 34 minutes. So it's 86 degrees now. It's really, really warmed up. 50% left on the battery. And yeah, making good progress. I'll be there shortly. Once I get to this stop, I'm only about 300 miles from the hotel, but I'll probably make 2 additional stops along the way. We'll figure it out. Once we get there, I'm going to once again look at the EVgo app and see if there's any of those chargers en route. I like to try to use those. Frankly, they charge faster than the Tesla Superchargers because they're up to 350 kilowatts, and this truck supports that. Also, they're very convenient because they're right off the exit. And then lastly, and probably most importantly, they are free for me for the next year and a half because of the Cadillac Lyric charging plan that I had. And unfortunately, I don't have the Lyric anymore, but I still have that charging plan that I'm able to use with my vehicles for the next little over a year and a few months. So I'm going to absolutely take advantage of that on road trips and enjoy that feature. So, yeah, I'm headed to another one, and you've seen the layouts. They're nice, right? So they're nice chargers. They usually work pretty well. That one I just experienced had the one handle locked up. Haven't had that in a long time. I mean, they're pretty reliable for the most part. So anyway, let me shut this wiper off. There we go. Okay, I will be back with you here in a little bit with another update. So it continues to be a very peaceful drive as the car is driving me in Alabama. So coming through the Tuscaloosa, Alabama area now, and we're only 22 minutes out, 24 miles. Gonna arrive around 2:06 p.m. with about 18% left on the battery, which is good. That's about where you want to be, between 10 and 20%. A little bit lower is not bad. Closer to 10% is better as far as speeds and whatnot. But yeah, 28% currently in the battery, and you'll see the efficiency down there. I've driven 100 miles, 431 watt hours per mile. So all in all, this thing's doing great. Very, very happy with the road tripping experience in the Cybertruck. The lane wandering, honestly, is decent in the middle lane and in the right lane. When you're on that left lane over there, it tends to ride right along the paint line. And I've heard that complaint from other Cybertruck owners. I've had to disengage it. It's gotten onto the rumble strip before, but not at all today. It's I've run almost all of today in FSD, other than in the parking lot or whatever. I just turn it on, and it's been driving me today. So it's really made this trip, honestly, less stressful, and I feel a lot more refreshed. I'm not having to make every decision. It's doing the basics. It takes away a lot of what I would call the basic blocking and tackling. I mean, it's doing almost all of it, really. I haven't had to intervene much at all today that I can recall. So, great job, Tesla. Keep it up. And let's see if we get another good charging session at this GM Energy, this EV Go charger at the Pilot Flying J that's coming up. So far, those have been good. Of course, the last one, the one handle, showed in use and it wouldn't start charging. I even tried to activate it on the app and it wouldn't activate, so I just changed handles and plug and charge kicked in right away. So, alright, I will update you here in just a few minutes as we're getting off the exit, exit 104 up here for the charging station. Okay, so at 5 miles out, it just popped up and said preconditioning the battery for fast charging. So obviously the battery is right around the right temperature. It's 84 degrees out. It didn't need much conditioning. And you'll see 119 miles on this leg, 431 watt hours per mile, an hour and 37 minutes. We are at 21% right now, and it's 2:01 p.m. So making good progress on the day. Again, a beautiful driving day. It continues to be. I'm very pleased with that. That makes it nice road tripping. And now it's saying I'm going to arrive with 20%. So I really like, lately Tesla's been pretty good at the battery prediction upon arrival, the state of charge upon arrival. In both my new Model Y Juniper and this, the software's gotten much better. And so many times in the past, you would pull out and it says you have 15-20% remaining. And within miles, it's dropped down to half of that. It just doesn't do that anymore. They've gotten better at it, and if anything, they're conservative to where, it's been predicting less, and then as I get closer to the chargers, it's improving. So happy with that. Again, just enjoying the software, enjoying full self-driving, getting past like I'm sitting still quite a bit, but letting the car do its job. Look at the skies. Isn't that a beautiful view? This is just kind of driving through America, driving through Alabama along Interstate 20. It's very, very rural overall, and really a beautiful drive. And the roads have gotten much better. 20 used to be really, really bad. They've redone sections of it. It's gotten way better. So still some rough patches, but yeah, improved. They need to do the same thing on Interstate 40 up through Tennessee. There's some potholes the size of the Cybertruck, so hopefully they can get that improved as well. Anyway, I will, wow, getting a lot of messages. I will be back with you here shortly as we're getting off the exit. Okay, so here we go. We're getting ready to get off the exit. I thought you'd want to follow along again. The Pilot Flying J is right off the exit, which is perfect. And we're only 0.3 miles away. That pickup in front of me has got quite a load on there. Doesn't look super secure. Straps are loose. Here's the stats down below. 431 watt hours per mile, and there's a rough exit with lots of potholes. The truck is doing its job. See which entrance it wants to go in. Oh, it's going in the correct one. Good. Okay. Let me go ahead and kick off FSD. And let's find the chargers. Honestly, not sure where they're at this one. I see some blue markers back here. Yep, they're back here. There we go. Okay, let's get back into this first stall. Got a F-150 Lightning there taking up a spot but not plugged in, which is kind of strange. Okay, should be pretty good right about there. Let me go ahead and get plugged in. So I've got to get my CCS, my next to CCS adapter out of the door. And I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm going to lay the phone down for a second. Just bear with me. I'm going to snap the adapter in. Okay. EV communication error. Unplugged charger gun. Interesting. That's a new one. I've never had that happen. Let's try it again here. Let's go back and reset. It's showing available. There we go. Payment authorized. So that was a weird glitch. No idea why, but you can see how quick that popped up, payment authorized. But once again, I had an unsuccessful plug-in on the first attempt. Really weird. But it's working. Okay. And just that quick, we're charging. See what speeds we get up to. We're at 20%. There it's popped up to 345 kilowatts, so perfect. Okay, I'm gonna let it charge and going to figure out the next stop here. I'm going to use the restroom, clean out some trash again, and I'll be back with you shortly, and we'll figure out what's going on. You can see it could take more energy, but that's all the station can give it. So anyway, I'll be back with you momentarily. Okay, let's take a look and see how well the charging's going. This screen's actually working good. 51% pulling 146 kilowatts, so still doing well. Been here 11 minutes. 40 kilowatt hours of energy added, and it just flipped over and said 41 hours added. Let's see what it says in here. 39, so you have some losses not going into the pack, heat loss and whatever else from charging. Anyway, this last leg, 125 miles, 429 watt hours per mile. Pretty good overall for the Roanoke, Virginia trip. Let me figure out my next stop, because it's wanting me to stop in Birmingham, and we're not going to do that. So I will update you here shortly. So unfortunately, I am probably going to follow this trip plan because, you know, you've got Birmingham here that's only a few minutes away. It just wants me to put about 12 minutes of charge in order to make it up to Chattanooga. Here's the problem. There's this one charger in between in Steele, Alabama. It's 150 kilowatt. If I get there and there's cars sharing power, I'm only going to get 72 kilowatt charging, which is abysmal and not going to be good at all. I mean, I'm still at 61%. I'm still charging at 118 kilowatts. So I don't want to risk stopping there and adding a bunch of time to the trip. So I think I'm going to pop up and hit this charger in Birmingham, just a little quick splash of juice, and then head up to Chattanooga from there. Now, after Chattanooga, around Knoxville, right up here, is another EV go. If I just want to do a quick pop in Chattanooga, then pop up here and do a little bit of a top up and then on to the hotel. We'll see. I'll probably skip this last EV go right here. It probably doesn't make sense. So anyway, that's the plan for now. I'm going to go ahead and get unplugged here in just a second and take off. I'll be back with you here from the road. Okay, so I'm back on the road. Been driving for 4 minutes, 460 watt-hours per mile. Not too bad after just coming off of a charger, so this should be a decently efficient stretch. I'm going to hit this next supercharger in like 30 miles. It's actually good because I forgot I need to get my cord out to charge my Apple Watch. It's about dead, so I can get that out and plug it into the car and charge it while I'm riding up here to Chattanooga. So I don't mind that. And again, I'm trying to avoid that stop in Leeds. That's a waste of time and a potential a lot of added time if I'm only going to charge it, I think 72 kilowatts. It's rough. So why, spend 40 or 50 minutes there potentially and risk it? So I'm not going to chance that. So we're just going to stop here at the Supercharger Birmingham, get a little splash on it. Showing now I just need to be there for like 9 minutes, which will give me enough time to get my cord out, get the watch charging, and then basically unplug and head out. So I don't remember where this charger is. I have a feeling it's at a Buc-ee's. I think it's at a Buc-ee's. We'll see. Honestly, I hope it's not because they're so busy. But anyway, still 84 degrees out. Beautiful day, 2:30 in the afternoon. Still showing I'm going to hit the hotel around 7:30, 7:45. But again, I've got a time zone change coming, so that'll be more like 8 o'clock-ish. So, which is fine. I will be back with you here shortly with an update. So this is pretty interesting. It just popped up preconditioning the battery for fast charging. 15 minutes out. Only been driving about 15 minutes, but it's probably cooling the battery pack down at this point to get it to the optimum level for proper charging at 53%. I'm not going to see unbelievable speeds, and we're only going to be there less than 10 minutes, but who knows? If it's a Buc-ee's, it may take longer, because, if I decide to walk inside, it's probably a 15-20 minute just to get in there and get out. So we'll see how it goes, but I definitely find it interesting that we're preconditioning 15 minutes out when we just charged. So kind of cool. Anyway, 17 miles on this leg, 15 minutes, 390 watt-hours per mile. And of course, the pack's still cooling down, so this is not going to be a very efficient short hop. Okay, I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, so let's see what FSD is going to do. We're 1.4 miles from the exit. It just jumped over into the left lane. It needs to be in the right lane. And, I don't know, maybe it's going to try to pass this truck. Sure is. 427 watt-hours per mile, so I guess it's not that bad efficiency on this leg, and overall on the Roanoke trip it pretty much matches for overall efficiency. So the car's doing good. Here it goes. Now what's it gonna do here? It needs over. Is it really gonna pass? Wow, FSD, you're bold. But then again, I would have done the same thing, so. It just got off the exit. Now it should be slowing down pretty rapidly, and it is. Really incredible. Wow. This thing is so good overall. It's just so much better than the early iterations years ago. When I first got FSD, its beta program, I'm going to say 2.5 to 3 years ago, it was phantom braking, hard braking events, all kinds of craziness. This thing just works now. It's really good. And let's see. We're going up here. And it's not at a Buc-ee's, thank goodness. I don't know if I've charged at this one or not. This might be a new stop for me. Looks like it's right through this light. Or is it turning at the light? It's turning at the light. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a new one. And these are V4 dispensers, so yeah, this is cool. Get to check out a new charging stop. It's doing the right thing. Look at that. Remarkable. And it drove me right to the charger. It's really, really good. It felt like it was going to back in too. Now I stopped it because I want to choose my own. And there's a couple pull-through stalls. Very cool, Tesla. Very cool. I definitely like that. It was a terrible job on my part of paying attention and backing up. But I always like to keep a space between the cars. Of course, that's an old habit from the V2 Chargers, but also it's a courtesy to give space. All right, that should reach. These V4 dispensers have longer cables, so let's see if we can get hooked up. This is a good stop. Several restaurants and shopping and etc. right through here. You can see they're much longer cables. And these do charge up to 325 kilowatts generally. I didn't look at charging speeds on this one. This might be a 250, but I'm not going to be able to take that level of speed anyway. But let's take a look. Yeah, it's a 325 kilowatt. Very nice. And we're ramping up here, just over 100 kilowatts now. 130, 140, 147, 157. It's probably about where it's going to top out, I would think, at 54%. So yeah, right around the 160 kilowatts. Okay, let's let this thing juice up. I'm going to go ahead and grab my charger for my watch, and we're going to get ready to hit the road here in just a minute. Okay, I got my watch plugged in and charging. I plugged it into the back USB-C port, so that'll get juiced up. It popped up a minute or two ago and said it was ready to go, but I was doing something on my phone, so I'm at 69%, 93 kilowatts still, charging great, 83 degrees out. Showing I'm going to arrive with 13%, so I'm going to go ahead and take off. This last leg, just for reference, was 35 miles, 411 watt hours per mile. So pretty good overall, 683 miles into the total trip. It's been a good road tripping day. Let's get out of Birmingham and get up to Chattanooga. And hopefully we don't hit a ton of traffic. It is a Sunday, so hopefully traffic's lighter, but I'm going to unplug and get on the road. Beautiful drive on the way here to Chattanooga, which I will be in the Eastern time there. So when I hit the Chattanooga Supercharger, it's going to be around 6:30 Eastern. I'm actually going to stop at the Texas Roadhouse. I just called an order in. It'll be about 6:30 their time, and I'm going to pick up food and I'm going to eat while I'm at the charger, because I'd like a decent meal and not just general fast food. So that is my plan. So I've already called it in. They've already texted me how to pull into a spot, and I type here in the spot number and text back, and they'll bring the order right out to me. So that'll be nice. And then I'm going to go to the Supercharger, get plugged in, and juice up. And I may juice a little longer while I finish eating, which is fine. And then I'll get to the hotel and check in, and hopefully the hotel has level 2 charging available. If not, I can buzz either across the street or right across from the hotel into Electrify America, which is probably what I would do, and throw a little bit of juice in the vehicle. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. 82 degrees out. We're at 47%. We've driven about an hour and 62 miles, 427 watt hours per mile. So overall, right at the average. This thing's doing well. I mean, I think that's pretty darn efficient for a vehicle this size. And see, the overall on the vehicle is at 445 watt-hours per mile for the lifetime. Almost 8,700 miles. And I am about 750 miles into the Roanoke, Virginia trip. But take a look at the scenery here as I drive up through the mountain. I think it's pretty neat. Anyway, I'll be back with you here in a minute. Okay, sorry, I had to grab that call. But you can see I'm going to get to that Texas Roadhouse around 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central. And shows I'm going to arrive with around 15% on the battery. It's right by the Supercharger, almost in the same parking lot. So that'll be quick and easy, hopefully. And yeah, so once I do that, then I've got less than 2 hours to the hotel. So should hit the hotel around 8:30 Eastern, which will be just fine. And I've got meetings in the morning, so that is the plan. Still continuing to love the Cybertruck. Absolutely zero negatives on this trip. This thing's just a tank, and it's doing a great job. So anyway, continue to follow along. I will update you as always multiple times until we get to the charger, more than likely, and then as I get there and plug in, I'll show you that as well. Be back with you shortly. Okay, so we're driving through a construction area, and by the way, this is my view. As I look out of the windshield, this is kind of what I see right here, if that helps. Anyway, driving through construction using FSD, and it is remarkably good. It's doing a great job. 439 watt-hours per mile for the last 89 miles, and I've been driving for an hour and 15 minutes. I've got 1 hour left, so I'll be arriving, like I said, around 6:30. With around 16% right now is what it's estimating. It's been a good driving day, as I've mentioned multiple times throughout this this video. It's 4:28 p.m. It's 81 degrees. Weather's been decent the whole trip. Skies have been clear, and fingers crossed that it continues until I get to the hotel for tonight. Yeah, it's been a good one. So I will be back with you here probably at least one more time before we get to the charger and Texas Roadhouse, and I will keep you updated. For now, just enjoy the landscape a little. Beautiful part of the country, isn't it? See you in a bit. So there's some major traffic going on here around Chattanooga, and I had a feeling that might happen. And it is routing me around the interstate. So you see I've got 18 miles to go, 26 minutes. I'm still going to hit there around 6:30 with 18%. But yeah, something's going on here with this interstate 24 East. And I don't really know what's causing the backup. So there's a major backup on the westbound lanes, and there's a major backup on the eastbound. So long story short, the Cybertruck is routing me around all of that to save about 15 to 20 minutes, according to, I looked on Apple Maps, and of course the Cybertruck is essentially using Google Maps data. So yeah, we're going to route around. I'm going to let the truck drive me around this and see what happens. And just looking forward to getting there, getting plugged in for my final charging stop of the day. And hopefully I can just top up at the hotel after that. I'm going to get a deeper charge at this stop because I'm going to go ahead and eat while I'm charging. So I'm going to sit, relax, eat, and get a pretty full tank before we head up the road. So we'll see how long I'm there, but I'll be back with you here shortly with an update. Okay, the car is taking me through downtown Chattanooga. Here's the Hampton Inn and Suites downtown. Beautiful area. nice weather today. It's 81 degrees. Of course, people wearing shorts and polo shirts and whatnot. So, got a Tesla in front of me from Georgia. And yeah, we're in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Looks like we need to turn left in 0.3 miles, but the car will figure that out for me. Thought you might want to follow along here with some of this downtown city driving. Again, I have FSD on, so I'm letting it handle it for me. We're just waiting for this turn lane to go. I'll go ahead and kick this into hurry mode. What I did is flip the thumb wheel to the right. And we hurry up and wait at the next light. Here we go. Again. So it's going to want over a lane, but we'll see what happens. Okay, and here it goes. Good job, FSD. You did what I would do. Sure it doesn't hit this curb. Hope it did good. Just ripping right through, doing its thing. It's crazy, you know, I'm driving downtown on city streets and the car's driving me, which is really interesting. I'm gonna put it back in standard mode now. It's pretty smart. It waited for that car. So let's see what it does here at the red light. It'll stop, of course, but then is it going to edge up and go? Can it see past the car? It's going to go up and look. It sees a couple cars coming, and it should edge out here and go. And here it goes. Good job, Tesla. It's crazy. Crazy good. If anything shows you how good FSD is, that should. I mean, that's remarkable. It's come such a long way in the last year, and really in the last 6 months. It's become just fully usable and truly, truly impressive. Very, very happy with it. And honestly, I hated to have to get rid of the Cadillac Lyric, but it's kind of a blessing. You know, the Lyric definitely had charging issues and whatever else, but I loved the car, luxury and everything else. But the new Model Y feels so nice inside and so premium. The Cybertruck does too, and they both have FSD, and I love FSD. That's a game changer and really a reason to buy a Tesla. And by the way, I've mentioned it before, I believe, but if you're going to buy a Tesla, use a referral code. Mine is in the description of the video. Use it right now. They're running a promo as of today. It's a few months of free FSD if you use a referral code that you would get when you buy your car. But that changes all the time. So there's some really good promotions out there from time to time. Take advantage of it and use, if not my referral code, someone you know, family member, friend, whatever. Make sure you use one for sure. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and ride on. The car's doing its thing. As you can see, we're making good progress. Still showing a 630 ETA, remaining 19% estimated. 410 watt hours per mile on this leg. Pretty efficient leg. 136 miles, 2 hours. So I'll be back with you as we get to the charger. Okay, so here we go. We are about to pull in Texas Roadhouse. You'll see it's right beside the Charger. Just a little distance away, not far. We're going to go up here and turn right. And look at that, once again, we're arriving with a greater percentage than what I've estimated. We're arriving with 19%. Really great efficiency on this leg, 404 watt-hours per mile. Well, rounded up, 405. For the last 2 hours and 16 minutes. 149 miles. This is kind of tricky right here. Wow. Okay, I'm going to take over and we're going to pull right up front. They've got to-go spots, if I recall, or if I'm correct. Okay, I'll be right back with you. I'm gonna go pick up my to-go order and be back in a minute. Okay, I'm backing into the Charger now, and this Charger's got a Rivian, it's got a Silverado EV, it's got several cars here charging at it, which pretty diverse group. So let's go ahead and get plugged in and see what kind of speeds we get. The Charger's pretty full. I did arrive with 19%. There's the stats on the last leg, 149 miles and 402 watt-hours per mile. And we are an hour and 14 minutes away. See, we're flashing blue. We're going green. Right over there's a nice blue Rivian, Silverado EV, bunch of Teslas charging. This is a nice back-to-back site with quite a few options. So here we are. Let's check our speeds. It says 20 minutes remaining to continue trip. Let's see what we ramp up to here. Notice these V3s take a while to ramp up with the Cybertruck for some reason. And also they take a while to start communicating. Over there's a Hummer EV SUV. Must have just left this Charger. Still ramping up. Now it's hitting over 170, 180. Super slow ramp. 190, 203, 210. We should see 250 unless the Charger's site limited due to all the vehicles charging at the same time. 230. 236, 241, 245, 250. There we go. And it should hold around, there you go, 257 kilowatts. And the site is limiting the truck, of course, and we're good. So let's take a look on the map. If we leave in 20 minutes, I think we'll arrive with 10%. I'm going to take a little longer than that because I'm going to go ahead and eat. And then I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, I am rolling. I stayed there. The charging was done and I was still eating. I finished my food and unplugged kind of right away. It shows I'm going to get to the hotel with 21% in the battery. at about 8:47. So now remember, I'm on Eastern time now, so it jumped forward an hour. Anyhow, I'm gonna go out here and jump on 75 North and let an FSD do the job. You can hear the fans ripping from Supercharging. So anyway, I'll be back with you here in a little bit with a stat update as I travel on to my final stop for today on this trip from the Dallas-Fort Worth area to Roanoke, Virginia. Okay, so we are riding on. About an hour and 18 minutes out. Shows we're going to arrive with 20% on the battery, which is great. 446 watt-hours per mile. We're constantly climbing elevation right now, so I'm not sure how efficient this leg will be. I've driven this stretch quite a few times, and if I recall, I'm gaining elevation most of the way, so at least it feels like you're going uphill the whole way. So we'll kind of see how that works out and how my efficiency is, but it's still a beautiful day. It's about 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Sun is starting to go down now. I'm sure it'll be dark by the time I get there, but it's just been an absolutely remarkably beautiful driving day. And so right now it marks 11 and a half hours of driving. So till I get there, it's about 12 and a half hours of total driving today. That includes charging stops and etc. And you saw the charging stops. I wasn't any of them excessively long. It didn't really hold me up. And I'm very, very pleased with the way the Cybertruck road trips. It's great. FSD continues to get better. Looking forward to the next software update to see how much better it is. But all in all, this has been a good trip today. And then the last leg will be tomorrow. So I will leave you with that for now, and I'll check back in with you here before I get to the hotel. Okay, I am less than an hour away, 59 minutes, 68 miles, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time, ETA. 21% state of charge estimated remaining upon arrival. I have driven for 45 minutes, 456 watt-hours per mile. Still nice out, although the sky is starting to darken up now. A lot more clouds as I head north here. And the sun's starting to go down. It's down to 71 degrees. And yeah, almost 8 p.m. It's been a great driving day. I've really enjoyed road tripping in the Cybertruck. It's fantastic. I did have at the one Pilot Flying J, I did have a gentleman come over and want to see in the truck, checked it all out, and enjoyed it. I've had that happen multiple times at those Pilot Flying J's. I think probably 4 times maybe in the last month or so. And genuinely, there's a lot of people that really, really like it, and then once they see the inside, they just love it. Then you got people who hate it. It's a very polarizing vehicle. Really don't care what they all think or what anybody else thinks. I enjoy driving it. It's good for me. So I think if most people that are driving around in a Tesla or an electric vehicle would really like the way this car drives, handles, and feels, it's fantastic. Anyway, I brought it to this, in this trip because I need to haul things back from my condo in Virginia back to Texas. So I'm going to load the bed up with some items. Okay, I will update you here as we get to the hotel. Hopefully that Blink charger that's there is available and I can get plugged in, but we will see. Be back with you here in a bit. Okay, so here's a trip update. I'm about to go through Knoxville here shortly. I am on I-40 East, 75 connected with 40 East. We'll be going through Knoxville in just a few minutes, and then out on the other side to Kodak in Sevierville. So it's been a good trip today. 8:01 p.m., 70 degrees out, and you'll see I've been driving 1 hour now, 70 miles, 439 watt-hours per mile. So pretty consistent efficiency on this trip. Overall on the car, 444, and on this Roanoke trip, 903 miles, 424 watt-hours per mile. This is day 2 of my road trip. Day 1, as you know, I left a little late and only drove a few hours and rested, and then left this morning at a decent time. to make this journey up here to Kodak. So I'll be staying at this Fairfield Inn and Suites, which I've charged right beside it many times. I've actually used the restroom quite a few times. There's an Electrify America charger right there. And it used to be on a timed rate instead of a kilowatt rate. I don't know if it still is, but it was one of the least expensive chargers. Tennessee in general had billing by the minute for electricity, which was very inexpensive, especially when you're charging at super high charging speeds. So it's one of the few states that had that, or maybe still does. Very, very inexpensive charging location. Now, Tesla's always charged by the kilowatt hour everywhere, it seems like. So, anyway, we're going to be climbing up the mountain here as we head into Knoxville, and then once we peak this and come down the other side, efficiency will improve. But I know from this trip many times, for the next several miles we'll be climbing, and then as we come down the other side, you'll see this number down here dramatically improve. So we're going to arrive with a little over 8,900 miles on the car, and then tomorrow I'll drive the rest of the way to Roanoke. It'll be over 9,000 miles. And then in a few days, I'll be driving back towards Texas with a couple stops along the way for meetings and whatnot. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to enjoy the ride here. And, yeah, it looks like we're going to arrive with 22% in 41 minutes now. So, almost there on the final stretch. Okay, here's another trip update. Just riding along on 40, still coming into Knoxville. Just on the west side of Knoxville now. And efficiency shown around 444 watt hours per mile. And I think it's 12 miles. That might be like right downtown area. I'm not sure. But yeah, we're right on the west side. I just passed the EVgo Pilot Flying J on Watt Road, Knoxville. That was the one I was going to use, and I decided against it. I just went ahead and charged at that last stop and had dinner. So, yeah, we're still going to arrive with around 22%. We're only maybe 30 minutes out. FSD has driven me almost the entire day, and it's been very, very good. I'm very happy that I have it, and really glad with my decisions on vehicles. So, obviously, it's getting darker out. Very, very cloudy here. I don't know. I didn't look at the weather, but looks like it may be rain the next few days. We'll see. But either way, I've got a lot to do over the next few days. Be super busy with business, and be heading back towards Texas before you know it. And you'll get the second part of this road trip, which I'll post the return video not long after I post the trip up video, so you can kind of watch them back to back if you want. It's a lot of content. Listen, it's just real world charging and road tripping videos. Nothing fancy, no fancy editing, music, whatever. It's just me talking my thoughts, stats, data, road tripping in a electric vehicle. So if that's what you enjoy, then like and subscribe and enjoy it. If not, then I understand and don't watch it. Makes sense, right? One thing I have noticed road tripping, you don't see hardly any electric vehicles on road trips. I mean, I see a few at the chargers, but I almost think most of those are local people going and charging their cars up. Just, you know, not a ton of road trippers in EVs. Teslas, yes, you see them at the Tesla Superchargers, and they have plates from all over the country, but most of the time when I'm at the other chargers, those vehicles are local because they all have the same state plates. Kind of interesting, but it's a very, very low single-digit percentage. Sorry, big yawn. Very low single-digit percentage of how many people have electric vehicles in the United States versus the cars that are on the road. It's got to be super low because all you see is gas vehicles out here. Anyway, I will get you at least one more update here before I hit the hotel. Okay, and here's one of the next to last updates for the day. We are 15 minutes, 15 miles away Gonna arrive with about 23% on the battery. And so far on this leg, 429 watt-hours per mile. Again, pretty consistent. 103 miles, an hour and 27 minutes. So, yeah, all in all, it's been good. We're just getting this final leg knocked out. We've passed through Knoxville, no problem, fully on FSD. Just riding along on 40 East now. So, give me some feedback. Let me know what you think about the video, road tripping in an EV, generally your impression of the Cybertruck after watching this video. If you've watched this video this far along, I'd love for you to give me a comment and give me some thoughts. I try to respond to all the comments on YouTube from these longer videos for sure. So, anyway, I do appreciate you viewing, and I'll update you here as I hit the hotel. But notice now we're up to 23%. It's consistently underestimated the state of charge remaining, so that, you know, in a positive way, I get to arrive with a little more energy than I thought I would. So each time it's done that, I've been very, very impressed with the trip planner. It's gotten super, super good. I do think that driving on FSD certainly helps the efficiency. You know, overall on this Roanoke trip, 423 watt-hours per mile is pretty darn good. And it's lowering the overall car's lifetime efficiency, so that's good too. Anyway, I'm going to be jumping off the exit here in 12 miles. That exit's also for the Buc-ee's Sevierville, which we're not going to go to. And let's hope that blink charger's available. And if it's not, we'll pop into Electrify America for a quick top-up so that Sentry mode and everything can work overnight. And then I'll probably charge in the morning, but I'll definitely throw some quick juice in there if need be. So I'll be back with you momentarily. Okay, so here we are. I did make a quick change right after that last clip. I added the Electrify America charger so that it does precondition in case I need to charge there. It won't hurt anything if I don't, but it will speed up the charging if I do end up charging there. So I went ahead and plugged that in. That's going to kill consumption a little bit. It's already climbed up to 436 watt-hours per mile, but no big deal. We're only 7 miles from the charger now, 6.2 miles from the exit off the interstate. So we're gonna, and by the way, it's directly across from the hotel, literally right across the street. So super easy to get there. It's it's easily walkable, super close. Anyway, we'll get there and hopefully get plugged into Blink. If not, we have a backup plan here. And I do have my Blink RFID card in the car. And if need be, I've got the Blink app as well. So hopefully one or the other works, and hopefully that charger's available. If not, like I said, we'll throw some juice on at EA. So I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, and here we are at the exit for Buc-ee's, for Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Kodak, Gatlinburg. All of it's right here. This is a big intersection and can be pretty confusing. Right up there is the giant Buc-ee's with hundreds of gas pumps and a large supercharger installation. I think it's a 24 stall V3, big one. I've charged there many times. I can see the Tesla chargers up there. Anyway, we'll sit here at this light and we will take off here in just a minute. So let's do a stat update for today. 118 miles, 434 watt-hours per mile. Total on the Roanoke trip, 951 miles, 424 watt-hours per mile. Lifetime on the car, almost 8,900 miles, 444 on the button. It's been a great road trip. I'm arriving at 8:41 p.m., getting to the hotel. And so I will let you know if I was able to get hooked up to the hotel charger. If I had to go to Electrify America, you will see that next. Okay, fortunately we did get plugged in. We are pulling 7 kilowatts, Yeah, it's going to take 16 hours to fill up. I'll probably be gone by then. Actually, I will be gone by then, but it'll almost completely fill the vehicle, which is great. I'm at 21%, which means Sentry Mode's working. And I pulled in right before a Tesla over there pulled in. So I got on the charger literally within 5 minutes of them probably plugging in. So, and I need a lot more juice than they do. It is going to charge me because I had to tap my Blink card. Honestly, I didn't even look to see what the cost is, but let's go back and look at the screen and figure that out real quick. $0.13 per kilowatt hour. 14 cents. No, that's not the rate. That's what it's billed me so far. Let's see. Help. Yeah, exit help. Don't know. Anyway, we are charging, and that's what's important. And I'll see what the cost is in the morning. Thanks for following along, and I'll be back with you tomorrow with more road trip. Okay, so here we are. It's the next morning. I'm charged up to 86%. It's 10:02 a.m., 71 degrees. I'm going to take off. I have to go to a meeting that's about 30 minutes from here, and I'll be at that meeting for, I don't know, 2.5 or so hours. I'll probably leave there around 1 or 1:30 and then head towards Roanoke, Virginia. I know that there's an EV Go in White Pine. Let's see where that one's at. So I'll probably stop there after my meeting. My meeting's out in the country, so I'm probably going to stop at White Pine after that, so I have it plugged in because I might need the juice. If not, there's another EV Go further up the road in Fort Chiswell. Chiswell, there it is. And it's 162 miles away, which I could make it right now without stopping with 18%. But I'm, stopping somewhere else. I may have to stop and just pop a little bit of juice in White Pine. We'll see. Either way, though, I'm going to go ahead and unplug. Let's see what this thing costs. So we're going to hit stop charging, unlock charging port, and let's go to the screen of the Blink charger and see if it puts a cost on there for us. And I don't think it's going to. Oh yeah, $63.47. Definitely an expensive charging session, but I was able to charge at the hotel and not have to go somewhere today. So it was pricey, but I am charged. So anyway, I'm gonna get on the road and I'll be back with you here shortly. Here's a little feedback as I head to my meeting. There's the Electrify America chargers right across the street from the hotel. And those are 52 cents a kilowatt hour if you don't have the Pass Plus plan, which I do. That buys it down maybe another 15 or so cents. Long story short, the hotel was 72 cents a kilowatt hour plus $1 a session charging fee. Super high priced. The highest I've ever paid is $1 a kilowatt hour, which is also not good. But that was kind of like highway robbery there at that hotel. They certainly should have reasonably priced charging, if not discounted charging. I get that, charging 50 cents a kilowatt hour or whatever, but 72 cents is outrageous. And I'll communicate that to the hotel. But regardless, it cost, you saw, almost $70 to get up to 86%. Had I gone to the Tesla Superchargers, which are right here at Buc-ee's, it would have been half that to fill up the same amount. I mean, those are like 30-some cents a kilowatt hour. So kind of crazy that it's gotten that high at the hotel. It was a convenience thing for me. Obviously, I had a long road trip yesterday. I just wanted to get on that charger, plug in, and go to bed, and I did. But, now that I know how much the charging sessions are, I would next time stop by Buc-ee's, just do a quick top up, or even EA. Throw a little bit of juice in the tank. Even if I would have sat there for 5 or 10 minutes, I'd have probably saved myself $20 or $30, because in 10 minutes, it would have filled the battery up to probably 50% easily, and or more. And then I could have just top charged to 100% at the hotel for, $30 to $40. Anyway, you learn as you go. That's one that I will communicate is one of the highest price chargers I've ever used, and that's disappointing because I've road tripped all over the country, West Coast, East Coast, and whatever. And that Fairfield Inn in Kodak, Tennessee, that's highway robbery. So anyway, you learn. It's there for convenience. I don't have to use it. It's optional, but I certainly wish that would be a little more controlled. Anyway, I've got about 28 miles. I'm going to arrive with about 74%. And yeah, I'm going to check back in with you after my meeting and I get on the road. I will update you here as I go. So more details to follow as I road trip here in the Tesla Cybertruck. Okay, here's another trip update as I'm climbing up the mountains here. This is an uphill climb for quite a bit, headed into Virginia. But like I said, I'm going to have a few hour gap in road tripping. I'm at 544 watt-hours per mile this morning, just starting out, getting up to speed, and of course going uphill. It's actually going to get even worse as we keep going up this hill. Anyway, we'll see after the meeting how far I can make it. If I can make it to Fort Chiswell, I'll do that. If not, I will stop in White Pine, stretch my legs, and juice up just a bit. So we'll see. Plenty of Tesla chargers along the way. I'm just attempting to use my free energy from EVgo, which makes complete sense. So 8,900 miles on this Cybertruck, and after today we'll be over 9,000. So rapidly climbing on the miles. Loving FSD this morning. It's doing the job for me. I've got a nice Tesla coming up on my left here. A black Model 3. Rear-wheel drive, probably LFP car. Nice looking car. Anyway, I will keep you updated here as we go. My next clip will probably be after I'm leaving my meeting here in just a little bit. By the way, beautiful area of the country here. Now watch, I was gonna stick it in hurry mode by clicking right on this scroll wheel. You can adjust the speed up and down, and you can click left and right to change the profile. So if I click right, it changes to hurry up there. If I click left, it changes back to standard. And you can see the speed setting as well. So if you scroll the wheel up and down, you can adjust the speed. And it has an offset in the menu that you can set automatically so that you can kind of flow with traffic. Anyway, all right, I'll be back with you here shortly, and we'll see how this road tripping day goes. Hopefully we've got clear weather like we did yesterday. It looks beautiful out, and we'll kind of see what happens. Here's a quick efficiency update as I'm letting the Cybertruck drive me. 430 watt-hours per mile for the last 28.2 miles. Driving through a beautiful part of the country right now. It's breathtakingly beautiful. And I'll be to my destination here shortly, and I will update you after my meetings here. Again, probably around 1 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's 73 degrees out, and it's 10:30 a.m. now. So thanks for following along. Okay, so I am rolling. Finished my meeting. It's 2 p.m. I've been driving for 20 minutes, so I got out of there a little after 1:30. It took a little longer than expected, but very, very good meetings. And now I'm headed to the Pilot Flying J, and I'll tell you why I'm stopping here. I don't need to, and I can make Fort Chiswell easily on my charge. I need to use the restroom. So I'm going to roll in over here and plug in if a charger spot's available. I have not looked at the EVgo app because, frankly, I hadn't had time. So we're just going to roll right over here, get plugged in, and throw some juice in while I run into this Pilot that has a McDonald's and a Cinnabon and all that fun stuff and get a charge. 459 watt-hours per mile. I was climbing the entire time, and I've charged at this charging stop in White Pine, Tennessee many times, and this is a great charging stop, although I do wish all of these had canopies like the gas stations, but I honestly am not complaining. These Pilot Flying J stops are fantastic overall. Very nice, very clean, all of the amenities to clean your vehicle. all in one spot. I'm probably going to use a squeegee and clean off the front trunk a little bit. A lot of bugs on there. And here's the vehicle lowering down. So over 1,000 miles on the Roanoke, Virginia trip, 426 watt-hours per mile. It is beautiful outside, 82 degrees. Let's go ahead and get plugged in. And I'm going to show you again. I'm going to lay down while I connect my CCS NACS adapter. I'm going to lay the phone down. Bear with me. Still here, getting plugged in. There, you heard it click. And that's how you plug it in. It's flashing blue, which means it's communicating. Payment has been authorized. Connecting the vehicle, checking cable safety. Auto Charge Plus works great as long as you set the VIN number up in the EVgo app. Even if you don't have the free charging, these things are super convenient. They need a pricing plan, and you need a discounted pricing plan. But I honestly love these chargers. I'm pretty happy with the locations. So they usually spool up way faster. These are 800 volt chargers. Tesla chargers are 400 volt. This vehicle has an 800 volt pack. So technically this can get faster charging more quickly than the Tesla superchargers currently. And you'll see it's spooling up here pretty quickly. 100 kilowatts, 132. See how quick it's jumping up compared to some of the Tesla superchargers we've been at? Well, maybe I take that back. Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, I'm at 135 kilowatts at 64%. I was looking for 350, but I'm used to plugging in at a low state of charge. So, yeah, it's perfect. We're charging. I'm going to run in and use the facilities, and I'll be back with you in just a few minutes. Okay, so I'm headed back out to the charger. I just wanted you to see the layout here. That pickup has a Cadillac emblem on the front. It's the same pickup that was at a Pilot Flying J yesterday, somewhere else in the country. And I'd have to go back and look at my video to see. But I see that Cadillac logo stuck on the front. And I saw that yesterday. So, interesting. Anyway, over here's the charger. I'm going to go ahead and clean the front off. You'll see it is splattered from 1,000 miles of driving. And I'm just going to squeegee that off for now. And then I'll get it washed here in the next day or so. Anyway, I'll be back with you shortly. Let's take a look how long we've been here and what type of energy it's put in. Been here 6 minutes, 11 kilowatts, still pulling 88 at 73%. So I have plenty of charge, but let me go ahead and get situated here. Okay, we've been here a little bit longer, put 22 kilowatt hours of energy, 82%, still pulling 93 kilowatts. Battery almost full. So it's showing you that the battery slows down as it fills up. So, or the charging slows down. We'll arrive to the next charger with 26%. It's only 150 miles away. Let's take a look out here and get unplugged, but let's see how long we've been here. I got the things done I needed to do, and we've been here 15 minutes. So that's how long it took me to get 25 kilowatt hours, but I'm the one that held it up. Let's hit stop charge, end session. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and unplug and get out of here. Okay. We are back on the road again. Got 149 miles to go to exit 80, which is the Fort Chiswell Pilot Flying J EVgo. Seems like a pattern, doesn't it? Anyway, the hotel I'm staying at has charging. Hopefully that's available. At least they say they do. If not, there are superchargers right there in Salem, Virginia, which is where I'm staying for the next few days. And yeah, so I don't have to charge to get to Salem. I could get there with less than 10%, but I'm going to stop and juice up. You know, I don't know if the chargers you have to pay for or not. I know I can get to Fort Chiswell with 25%. I can charge for 10 or so minutes, get it up to 50 or 60%, and then take off. That'll get me to the hotel with enough state of charge to have Sentry mode, so even if the chargers aren't working, I'm good to go. So that's kind of my plan. No big deal. Enjoying the drive today. It's beautiful. It's now 2:24 p.m. Like I said, that stop took me 15 minutes. I had to take care of some emails, some paperwork that I needed to do for the office. What else? I had to organize some stuff in my suitcase. I got a cup of ice and poured a drink in it. So I've got, I poured some drink mix and water. So I've got something to drink here for the next couple hours. And yeah, I just got organized. So it took me 15 minutes total. The car was ready to go way sooner. I mean, I could have left at 5 minutes and still, frankly, I didn't have to charge. But if I'd have just ran and used restroom and gone, I would have easily gotten to this next charger with 15% or whatever. So, but always be charging. You know, if you stop in an EV road trip, just find somewhere there's a charger and stop and plug in. Saves you time later. So hopefully you've seen throughout this trip, I've gotten a lot of efficiency as far as timing and route planning. To me, this doesn't hold me up any more than a gas car. At least it hasn't felt that way. So anyway, I'm riding on 541 watt-hours per mile. You'll see we're just continually climbing here as we're headed up 81 into Virginia. And yeah, I'll check back with you here in a bit. This is going to be a pleasant drive. I'm going to go ahead and kick it in hurry mode, and you'll see that as soon as this car gets past me, it's going to switch lanes. You see, it's already ready. And that's what hurry mode does for you, is it doesn't just sit in the right lane. It'll, you know, get up to speed. So, all right, we're going to ride along and enjoy this drive for a bit. I'll be back with you shortly. So a little pro tip, you know, people say to me, don't ride in the left lane. When you're in a hurry, it'll ride in the left lane. Change it over to standard. It'll switch to the right lane way more often. And if you flip it even further to chill, it almost always rides in the right lane. See how quickly it switched to the right lane when I put it in chill? So we're going to ride in standard. Now look, it switches back. It sees a vehicle pulled off to the side of the road. So good move for safety reasons, right? So it's interesting. You can play with these profiles by flipping back and forth on the thumb wheel as you're driving, and it will really put the vehicle where you want it to be. Anyway, it's 2:37 p.m. I've now been driving for 16 minutes. We're at 424 watt-hours per mile. Overall on the Roanoke trip, 426. And lifetime on the vehicle, 444. 84 degrees, and we are arriving in just under 2 hours with 27% estimated. Let's see how close we are to that. This stretch historically has been very hard for Tesla route planning to predict because of the elevation changes. Sometimes it's overly optimistic. It'll say that you're going to get there with way more than you will. Let's see how accurate it is. We'll just ride and let the car drive and see if we get there at around 435, and if we get there with the percentage it's recommending. We'll see what happens. I'll be back with you here shortly. Okay, so we are much further into the drive, an hour and 19 minutes, 97 miles, 433 watt-hours per mile. Pretty consistent this whole drive. Now, I will tell you, this last stretch from Fort Chiswell into Roanoke, Virginia is super efficient. We're talking like 200 watt-hours per mile or less, possibly, depending on conditions and traffic and whatever. But it's a beautiful day still. Looks like I'm going to hit the hotel in Salem, Virginia with around 9% if I did not charge. Now, again, we're going to charge a little bit, so we'll get there with more. And it's about an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 5 minutes or whatever from Fort Chiswell to the hotel. So no big deal. We're going to go ahead and juice up here. We got 53 miles an hour and 6 minutes. Looks like there's a major traffic backup up ahead, and we're going to have to deal with that. It looks like traffic's pretty much stopped here as I get up to the top of the hill. So I'll be back with you shortly. So I jumped off that last video clip real quickly to check Waze or Apple Maps, and they told me to get off the Glade Spring exit. Just as they did that, the Tesla now have automatically adjusted and has me doing the same thing, which will save about 10 minutes. I seem to recall there was major backup last time I came up through here, maybe a month ago. I think they're doing some construction. This section's always a mess. So, yeah, we'll get off this exit, and if I recall last time I drove 6-7 miles, 5-6-7 miles, something like that. Let's see. Yeah, it's just a few miles it's showing, and then getting back on 81. So just basically routing me around the traffic. So that's what we're going to do. Obviously stopping has helped the efficiency, 426 watt-hours per mile, and we've just got a few points of a mile, and we'll be getting off exit number 29. So I'll be back with you here in a bit. You know, full self-driving is very relaxing and nice, but every once in a while you just want to drive. So 433 watt-hours per mile, I'm still climbing almost to Fort Chiswell. After Fort Chiswell, we start losing elevation, not long after that. So I'll be there in about 10 minutes, arriving with around 29%, and it is preconditioning the battery for fast charging. It's cooling down as I head towards Virginia. I'm headed north, so it will get cooler. It's showing 78 degrees currently, and all in all, a good drive so far. I've got to grab this call, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, just arriving here to the charger in Fort Chiswell. Wendy's, there's a Denny's, a Flying J. Great stop, 24 hours. Love this one. 423 watt-hours per mile, the last 150 miles, 2 hours and 18 minutes. So 28% arrival. Let me go ahead and get plugged in. Here's the charger. Here's the NACS to CCS adapter. Let me put the phone right here. We're going to get this thing plugged in. Okay, there we go. Let's get plugged in. Just like that. You saw how quick that was. Heard the cabinet click over there. I am going to grab the little washer thing and clean the windshield, but let's check first and see what kind of charging speeds we get. It's actually usually pretty fast overall. And there we go, we're getting juice. Notice how quickly that's ramping up compared to those Tesla chargers. And we're going to see faster speeds if all goes well. I've already surpassed a Tesla charger. 328, 340. And there we go, leveling out around 330 or so, which is about right for a 29% state of charge. We're going to go ahead and let it juice up. It's already pulled in 2 kilowatt hours in just seconds. And we're already up to 30%, so pretty quick. Again, another free charging session. Let's take a look at our next stop. And right now, if I leave, I'll arrive with 10%. I'm going to run in and use the restroom, and I'll be back with you here momentarily. Okay, I'm not sure how long I've been here. I used the restroom, jumped in the truck, had to take care of a couple emails, and now I need to go. I just glanced down, 33% upon arrival. I've got plenty of juice. I plugged in around 28%. We're at 54% right now. We put in 31 kilowatt hours. Let's see how long we've been here. This is always interesting. I don't feel like it was very long. Yeah, 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 33 kilowatt hours. Still pulling 143 kilowatts at 54% state of charge. Stop charge, end session. This should go white. Okay, so here we are, charged up to 53% currently. I think it had 54 when I finished till I unplugged it, but been on the road 2 minutes. Super high consumption, of course, but we were headed uphill, had plenty of wind. Hopefully the wind dies down. I'm hearing a lot of wind on the car right now, though. And it might be headwinds, I'm not sure. Shows I'm going to arrive to Salem with 34% on the battery in 1 hour. It is 4:56 p.m., 76 degrees out, and yeah, I'm riding on. 9,100 miles and 1,157 miles on this Roanoke, Virginia trip. So till we get there, it'll be just over 1,200 total miles. So, and I'll be driving around town as I'm there for the next few days, and then I leave town and head back out. I'll have a total of over 2,500 miles round trip on this leg. Now, again, this trip today, this will be the end of this video, and then you can watch for part 2. This will be part 1. Part 2 will be the return trip. So watch for that video to be posted if you enjoy this content. Got a great charging session again at the last charger. I'm pleased with it. Again, you just get what you need and take off. I could have left several minutes sooner, but I needed to take care of a couple emails and handle a couple quick things. And also I had somebody walk up to me as I unplugged and wanted to talk about the truck, and I showed him quickly in it, and that was the third or fourth person on this trip that's approached me, and he actually said, hey, gorgeous vehicle, it's amazing, I just sorry to bother you. And I said, listen, I've really got to go, but take a look inside. You walked all the way over, and he was super nice and took a look, and I think he enjoyed it. So off we go on to Roanoke, Virginia. It's funny, I'm getting a lot of reflections off these signs. If you watch them glow, it's from the stainless steel on the truck. Look at it. So it's probably flashing some of these cars up here too. It's kind of crazy. The sun's just hitting it just right and reflecting onto these signs. Look at that. Watch this blue sign here coming up. See that? Wow, crazy. Anyway, let's kick it. Oh, I was going to say I was going to change it into the other hurry mode, but it's already changing lanes, so it knows what it's doing. Blue skies today. Clear blue skies. So that's good. Anyway, I will be back with you here in a bit. Thanks for following along, and this video is going to come to a close here pretty quickly. It's been a great road trip. I've enjoyed it, and strangely, I'm looking forward to the return trip too. Love road tripping in a Tesla, especially the Cybertruck. Looking forward to my first big road trip in the new Model Y Juniper. I've taken it to Tulsa, Oklahoma and back. You can find those videos in the library. Great road trip in that thing. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to taking it on the next road trip, next big road trip I take here in the coming weeks. So always an adventure. Okay, I'll be back with you here in a bit. We're already seeing some of that better efficiency, 409 watt hours per mile, but I'm not going all the way into Roanoke. I'm just going to Salem. So I won't get into that, 200-ish watt hours per mile like I've seen in the past. But it should be in the 300s here as I start descending into Salem. We're about 32 miles out, showing arrival around 35%. You'll see that just has continued to climb. It really has been impressive. In the past, I've lost range going up through this area, and this thing has been supremely accurate. So Tesla, you've done a great job at improving the route planning and the navigation. I'm very impressed. But yeah, it's been a wonderful drive. Continue to just enjoy it, and you'll see this is just beautiful country we're driving through still. Okay, I'll be back with you here in a little bit with a stat update as I'm getting to the hotel. So here's what happens. As we go downhill, you'll see the green bar right here. That's regenerating energy back into the battery pack. So you'll notice as we're descending, headed into Salem, look at my consumption down below. Just watch it change here as we go. Notice the green bar. It's down to what, 392 watt hours per mile. 390. That'll just keep improving here as we head into Salem. We're 23 miles away from my destination. I do have to make a couple of stops before I get to the hotel and get plugged in, so there might be a time gap. But if I was to go straight there, I'm gonna get to the hotel at 5:54 p.m. Oop. I don't know if you saw that. You probably couldn't. There was part of a tire on the road, and I disengaged FSD. So hold on. Tire on the road. So there, I just sent a recording. So it was an obstacle on the road. I had to swerve to avoid it. It was small, but I didn't want to hit it. It was shrapnel from a tire that must have exploded on a truck or a trailer. Anyway, so there we are at 387 watt hours per mile. Now we are going uphill just a bit, but then we'll go kind of back downhill. All in all, this has been a fantastic trip. So do y'all enjoy road trips? And if so, if you have an electric vehicle, do you enjoy them in your electric vehicle? Do you, have you gained any tips or tricks out of the stuff I've showed you through Tesla navigation, route planning, charging, etc. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. I'll certainly try to help. I know this is a pretty long video, but I get requests for long videos, and people enjoy these long road trip videos, so that's why I put them out there. I think most viewers now want to see the Model Y Juniper on a road trip, so that'll be coming soon. We'll see how it performs and how it charges. I've done over 60,000 total miles in Model Y road trips. I had a 2022 Model Y Performance. I had a 2023 Model Y Long Range. I put 60,000 miles combined on those two vehicles, and so I do know how well they should charge. And I don't know if the batteries have changed in the Model Y Juniper. I've been told they have 4680 batteries. I haven't heard that confirmed, but we'll see. So far, my initial trip, it charged great, but I didn't really get to kind of open it up. It only needed essentially one charging stop on a several 100-mile trip. It's so efficient and so good, and it was a quick charging stop, so I don't know. We'll see. It certainly won't charge at the speeds the Cybertruck does, but the Cybertruck has a battery that's nearly twice as big, so that makes a big difference. So there we are. Let's watch the efficiency here. .377, 376, 443 overall on the truck. Warm weather certainly helps. Now, if it's too warm, then your HVAC works against you. But, you know, this 80-degree temperature seems about perfect. Okay, well, I'll be back with you here with at least one more update as we continue to road trip in the Tesla Cybertruck. So it's funny when you road trip enough to know what type of efficiency you get on which interstates and which parts of the country, from the East Coast to the West Coast. And I can usually call them out pretty good all the way out to California, back to, you know, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, New York, etc. Because I've road tripped in EVs for years now. And 350 watt hours per mile, you'll see it's climbing a little. I'm climbing uphill, but again, I don't know that we'll hit the 200-ish range, but I thought we'd be in the 300s, and we are. So that's just, I find that interesting that, you know, I can kind of predict that now from the years of experience. And those are kind of, for me, fun things to watch. You know, the other thing that's really cool, and I don't use it that much anymore, I used to use it a lot, is the Energy app on the Tesla. Take a look at that data. Staying below 70 would have saved 1.4%. Wind cost 0.1%. But my driving, I actually did better driving than the vehicle predicted. So that's why the range has improved. And it has a live range projection there showing exactly to the point what you can expect upon arrival. So 36.0. And as that climbs, it'll show that on there, which is really, really cool. Versus on this map, it just shows the flat percentage. Anyway, we are rolling along. Letting the Cybertruck do the work as we just ride along here behind this truck. Less than 350 watt hours per mile. 349. .347, pretty cool. I'll try to give you an update here as we get off the exit for Salem and see kind of what it's predicting at that point. But all in all, it's been smooth. Okay, so here we are riding along through a construction area. This thing gets uncomfortably close on the left side. I do not like that. You'll see on the lane centering, it pushes all the way to the left edge of the lane. But 340 watt hours per mile, so getting into the low 300s. We are going through construction, so we are going a little slower, but pretty good efficiency. Now going to arrive with 37%. It just continues to improve. I'm going to check the tires when I'm here. I'll have, I'm pushing 10,000 miles. They've been rotated at 5,000. Probably rotate them again. I just want to see what my wear is at this point and how much life I have left. This is a heavy vehicle, and it's got a lot of torque. It's got four-wheel steering. Just concerned, what kind of life can I get on these tires? I know on the Model Y I can get 35,000, 40,000 on a set. I've done it before. I don't know on the Cybertruck. Part of the reason I chose a dual motor was for that purpose. I just felt it would be better on tire wear, efficiency, and everything else. So we'll kind of see how it goes on this first set of tires, but I like them. They're smooth and quiet, and they do a pretty good job. I would like the truck to get over, and it did. It crossed the solid white line. So let's let it ride along. And I'm going to kick it into chill mode so it doesn't try to pass, because we've got to get off an exit right up here. So I'm going to just try to give you a closing clip as I get to the hotel, and I'm getting ready to check in. We'll see if the chargers are available there. It shows there's a couple chargers. I've never stayed at this particular hotel. Honestly, I picked it to see how the charging was. I do have charging at my office, if not. And I've got plenty of juice in the car. But also the Salem Supercharger, there's a 250 kilowatt they installed in Apperson Drive. It's right by the hotel. So if I have to go to the Supercharger, I can. Not a big deal. I still have some free Supercharging, by the way. If that's, if you saw my charging cost was zero at all those chargers, that's the reason why. It was from referrals. I've about used all those miles up. I had quite a few miles. Thank you for the referrals. So that gave me a lot of free charging, but those are about expired. So I'm really focusing on the EV Go and using the Tesla ones as needed. Got a few cars coming. It's doing its job. It should start edging. Yep, perfect. That's exactly what I would do. And off we go. So there you go. 336 watt hours per mile. I'm going to add maybe a couple of miles running my errands, but I'll try to give you a final update on this trip into Salem/Roanoke, Virginia. Thank you for following along again. If you've watched the video to this point, that's remarkable. I appreciate it. And please shoot me a comment. And let me know you finished the video. Okay, I'll be back with you here momentarily. Okay, sorry I didn't get that last charging leg, but you saw the stats right as I was pulling in. Here's my total miles for this Roanoke trip. 1,222 miles, 420 watt hours per mile. So I was here for a few minutes, making phone calls, getting caught up. I had some work calls. There is a Tesla destination charger. There's also a very old EV charger that's out of commission. But the Tesla destination charger is a 40 amp. So I plugged in for just that short period of time, and I'm already up to 39%. I've got to go run a couple errands, actually pick some food up and whatever. So hopefully when I come back, it'll still be available. But yeah, it's been really, really good. Actually a nice clean hotel. And I've never stayed at this one before, but I was pretty pleased with it. Let me back up here and show you these chargers. So they have a Tesla destination charger there, another charger over there as well, a GE. You got this old out of order GE and another Tesla destination charger. So there's at least a couple active. Both Tesla chargers work. I did not test this J1772, but I think that one works as well. So anyway, great job here, Hampton Inn and Salem, and I'm going to use it. So anyway, that's it for this road trip. Thanks for following along. Look for part 2 coming soon as I head back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'll be going through Cherokee, North Carolina. I'll be going through Bossier City, Louisiana, multiple stops. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Going to be another wonderful Tesla road trip. So, and I'll cross over 10,000 miles, and I will give my 10,000 mile driving review of this Tesla dual motor all-wheel drive Cybertruck. So thanks for following along, everyone. Have a good day. So I wanted to give you some last additional info. You know, I'm riding around, running errands, going to pick up food, whatever. It's only a few miles away, but overall on this vehicle, 9,169 miles, 442 watt-hours per mile. For those that know what that means, that's similar to what I had in my 2022 Model X Plaid, and I ran it in chill mode. This is a much bigger vehicle, and honestly, this has better range overall, better charging. You know, I like this vehicle a lot better. So I'm very well pleased with that efficiency. Now, candidly, my Model Y Juniper will do much better. On this trip, I would guess it would have been around 275 to 285 watt-hours per mile. So, you know, costing not, you know, 2/3 as much energy, just way more efficient. So Teslas in general are efficient, but if you want the most efficient, get a Model 3 rear-wheel drive. That's going to be the cheapest to operate as far as cost per mile for energy. The least efficient will be the performance models if you step on them all the time and consume a ton of energy. The Cyber Beast, all the Plaids, etc. And then the tires make a huge difference. Tires and wheels really make a tremendous difference on EVs. But so I love the efficiency. I also like practicality. I think this vehicle looks good as far as the wheels go. The design itself looks kind of goofy, whatever. It's polarizing, but what a wonderful road tripping vehicle. And for 1,227 miles to go 420 watt-hours per mile, I think that's great. So let me know what you think. I think the efficiency is pretty darn good, so I'd love to get feedback on that. And again, if you've watched a video all along, you've heard me say that. Give me your feedback on efficiency. How does this do compared to what you thought it would do? And if you have a Cybertruck or a Cyber Beast, how's yours? I'd love to hear it. So anyway, thanks again for following. I appreciate all the feedback, the views, all of it. And look forward to the next road trip coming soon. Yeah, I know I said that was going to be the last clip, but take a look. A government plate on a Tesla Model 3. It's a Model 3 refresh with government plates. So I don't know that I've ever seen a government plate on a Tesla. I'm glad to see that we're using them. Looks like the government employee's smoking in it, which is fine. I'm sure there's no restrictions, but they've got the, you know, a nice Model 3 refresh. Highland, as we used to call them. Kind of cool. I just thought I'd share that. And by the way, right here is the sheets on Apperson Drive. The superchargers are right back there to the left. And you'll see I'm like 0.6 miles from my hotel. So I'm going to go back over there and get plugged in. I've run all my errands, picked up some food for the evening, and I'm going to go recharge myself. I've got a full schedule the next few days, so it's going to be super busy. But yeah, like I said, be watching for the next road tripping video. I may post them back to back. It just depends on what I've got going on, but it'll be coming up soon. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks.